Happy Wednesday to all the time zones that already have Wednesday. That's how sweet Mortonat is thinking of the Australian and East Asian community. Hello Mortonat, congrats on being first. Hello Honest Psycho. Hello Tifa, you have some explaining to do.
Before that, happy Tuesday for everyone that isn't in the Wednesday zone yet, but I fully get it because it feels like it should be a Friday and this week is going so slow.
I had a strong feeling yesterday that Monday at work already was like 40 hours and I should be done with work for the week. But unfortunately, calendars don't agree with me in that sense. So, hello Bedinsis.
I wish it was Wednesday.
How are you doing? Tifa, I will not say it again. Apologize to all of these wonderful people.
Well, I'm sorry we weren't here on Sunday.
I was.
Which is mainly my fault, yes, because I wanted to...
My feet still hurt.
Yes, because I actually wanted to cancel stream on Sunday. Yes. Because we walked a lot, like an actual lot. Yes. I think it was, if you calculate it in miles, it was like 50 miles, 51 miles.
No, we did not walk that. We walked 51.5 kilometers on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh wait, it's the kilometers, not miles.
Also known as pretty much exactly 32 miles. Because this weekend was the Pokemon Go Global Fest. Tifa bought tickets. Never apologize for not streaming, having a life outside of streaming. Thank you. And that is very true, but this is an exception, and I will shame Tifa for this. She did not anticipate that if she doesn't pace herself, after walking...
It didn't feel like we walked that much at first.
After walking basically 15 hours on 2 days, like her legs locked up. We've talked about
I already have some pretty bad knees. And like at some point, my knees just went... Nope.
Yeah.
It's like
normal people walk like this, right? Like they bend their leg slightly, but Tifa's legs went like, well, I'm not doing it anymore. So she was like,
I was doing the penguin walk because I couldn't bend my knees anymore.
Yeah, something like that. You get the idea.
That was quite funny.
Yes, so Tifa and I took the night off for relaxation.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I made the same joke on Discord on Sunday, so I've had it prepared. Sorry. Yes.
So after we came home, I dropped on the couch, and I can tell you, I did not move anymore. On Monday,
she only woke up for dinner.
Yeah, on Monday, which so basically means yesterday, I said Wednesday in my mind. Thank you, Matnat.
How dare you?
I actually had to go to work. Like I also said I would go to work. And I get out of bed and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it to the front door.
My legs do not agree with this.
So I do the penguin walk to this office where I'm currently. So I'm like, okay, I'm staying here.
Weakness disgusts me.
I cannot make
Understandable.
To work. So I'm working from home. It was a lot.
And then I had to bring her stuff to eat, stuff to drink because she couldn't really walk. I still made her walk because...
Well, in the evening, my knees calm down a bit after.
If you can party hard, you can also work hard. At least that's a saying in Germany. So I still made her walk a little bit, just so that she doesn't just sit and lay down all day. And now you've recovered?
Yeah,
mostly?
Mostly, I would say.
I still feel it in the soles of my feet. Like they are still slightly pulsating. Have any of you ever experienced that this when you've walked too much? Regardless of whether you had comfy shoes or not. My shoes are fine for longer walks, but after a while my body was like, are we gonna continue doing this? I guess I'll just turn off the pain then and just, I don't know, remind you in a day or two. So
it's also quite funny every time we have a day where we walk a lot, usually on vacation, and then we say, okay, you know what, next day we're gonna take it easy and don't walk a lot. And then usually we end up walking just as much or a little bit less. Like on Saturday we did 30 kilometers, 31.
Yeah.
Then on Sunday we were like
20 something.
We're gonna take it easy.
Just 20.
Then we still did 20 something. Which also reminded me of when we went to Paris once.
So yeah, but the problem there is For those of you that have never been to Paris, first of all, if you ever get the chance, you should go. It's a great place. Buy a croissant, they're amazing. The first day, because we have been to Paris before, and what I like doing is take a long walk through the city center past the Seine. That's the river that runs through the city. Usually ending up at the Eiffel Tower, and then we just take a train back, get some food somewhere, and then the day is over because
depending on where we start,
city.
that's like a 4 or 5 hour walk.
Yes. So we did that last time too, and then we went on some detours exploring the city, as you do when you go to a place to explore. And then we were completely done. And then the next day we're like, you know what, let's just buy a ticket for public transport, let's just explore some more, but we take the train. Like every distance longer than a station, we just take the train. We've talked about it before. Warning again. If you want to avoid walking, using the metro in Paris is also not going to help you too much.
We
the
ended up walking
are
the
like
same
labyrinths,
distance.
like mazes. So we still spent the entire day outside.
And we did
took
just
the
as
train
many steps
a
as
lot.
before.
No, we walked like 75%, which was still too much. Too much compared to what we wanted to do.
There's a lot of steps and the hallways
yes,
are long.
and up and down
And no, it's nothing it's nothing compared to like the London tubes, for example.
Those are even worse in terms of like the amount of walking
No,
you
the
need
Paris
to do.
ones are worse.
Really?
Yeah, they were absolutely worse. Like in London, you might have
Been
a
too long,
couple
I don't
few
recall.
hallways and some walking. But in Paris,
Okay,
you
yeah.
had staircase up, staircase down, staircase up again. You walk straight a bit, you take a turn to
Yeah.
take another staircase
I forgot
to go down again.
which station it was. We had to change that twice. Once on the way there, once on the way back. I think we spent 5 minutes just walking through the train station underground. As like, this is amazing. This is confusing, and I love it. Like this could be a dungeon in a video game. But yeah, lots of walking.
But Paris
we're
was
really bad at
absolutely
this.
worse.
Yeah.
Basically.
Not gonna stay, but I wanted to drop in because it's been a bit. That's perfectly fine. I hope you're doing well, Groundhog. I'm having a rough time, and I'm
Well, that answers
not
that.
in a place to handle this game right now of how it's triggered me before.
That's fair.
That answers
Take
my
care
question,
of yourself.
and that's fine. Just take it easy.
Have a nice cup of tea.
And maybe, if at some point possible, do the thing that it says on this cup. Can you hold this?
Is that even...
If you hold it into the camera, yes.
Yeah, but it's flipped.
Oh yeah. It says,
Think happy,
be happy. I know it doesn't always work like this, but in the moments when it does, I find that this helps me.
I bought it as a motivational cup at some point when I was in a place myself where I was like really negative at work and I keep being in this like negative drag.
Just hold it upside down.
I don't know, the cup makes me happy, so at least that works.
It has a cute little bird on it.
Oh wait, I should flip it around?
You will do that once.
Well yeah,
then-
because after that I'll be streaming alone.
Exactly. And then I'm pretty sure your morbid like interest into, oh, what exactly does it feel like to have hot tea poured over your lap will kick in. And I will not have you do that to yourself, because nobody should. Also, Bedinste went to a flea market this weekend. Bought a bag, some knives and forks. I was gonna ask what kind of knives, but then I read the forks part and then I realized probably cutlery. I bought some knives, could also be like, oh, I have a collection of knives. Like I like to,
Yeah, okay, fair.
what's it called in English? The German term is schnitzen. When you whittle down wood to like carve something.
Oh, yeah.
Like a walking stick or a statue or something. So it could have been something like that. That's cool. I mean, the walking stick that you cannot see because of how I'm sitting, but there's a walking stick behind us.
I can grab it.
It's been featured before.
There. It's the light stick now.
Yes, let me have a look. Yeah. Like this thing has like little carvings that my dad made back then. Now where do I put this thing?
Oh, back in the corner.
I'll put you back in the corner. Eh.
Or put it on.
I will just place it down
Put
here.
it on the ground.
While I
Appreciate
leave
the
off
sentiment. Gonna go eat lunch. Try to be productive this afternoon. Have a good stream.
screen. Ooh,
Take it easy.
lunch sounds good.
Have a good lunch. Think
Yes.
of yourself.
Exactly. And even if you're not productive, try to have fun.
Have a snack for me as well.
It works.
I love snacks.
You literally had ice cream before the stream.
Oh.
First you had dinner, then you had ice cream.
I don't think ice cream falls under snack.
Is ice cream a
Ice cream
snack?
is not a snack.
Is ice cream a snack?
It's not a snack.
I said can be, and you did not mute your phone.
I did not.
Unprofessional. School started this week, so I went to a voluntary work I do on Mondays, helping 8-year-olds learn Swedish. That's really
Oh,
sweet.
that's sweet.
Nice. Cheers to that. Maybe?
Like, what's the immigrant children? Like when people move to the country and take their kids along.
Like Swedish as a
thing.
second language. We have that over here too. That's really sweet-ish. Martinada, I love you. Why didn't I make that joke?
You wrote it, I was like, oh, that's really good. Should have thought of that.
Yes. 10 out of 10. No, that's really nice of you.
That's super sweet.
I
don't
wish,
think I
though,
would have the patience to teach young children another language.
I've worked as a trainer before. If you pay me for it, I do have a patience.
Yeah, but being a trainer
And
to
being
adults,
a teacher is something very different, which is what I'm saying. There are circumstances where, believe it or not, despite of how I carry myself on stream for entertainment purposes, I do have the ability to teach other people. It's
but
just that I
training
don't
adults.
think teaching a kid would be in the cards for me.
Yeah, training adults and teaching kids are like two completely different worlds.
That's what I said.
Kids are rather good at Swedish. Swedish.
Swedish.
Swedish.
It's their moms that are worse.
I mean, kids pick up a language a bit easier. That helps.
Yeah, no, I get that. What I always find, like, I'm super happy that you're doing this voluntary work to help people, but I wish that everywhere around the world, teaching would be honored as much as I believe it should be. Like, teachers should be paid like rock stars. You know what I mean? You do such an important job to society. Like you teach children, you teach adults, you teach people, like with skills, like a language or just knowledge. Like, I wish that wasn't voluntary work necessarily. Like, you could still sign up voluntarily, like, hey, I want to help, but then you get compensated handsomely for the time and the service you render to society. But
well, there's a lot of jobs that should be compensated.
yes, much better, if not
than they do
to begin with. Yeah. Only
Basically.
I have to use half my brain with my work today, so the other half can come up with shit. It's wonderful.
It's nice to have days like that.
I appreciate you having an extra half brain free to come up with wordplay like that.
I had a no-brain kind of work day today, and the day took so long. So long.
Oh, talking about no brain. Do you want to reenact for people the joke you taught me yesterday?
Joke I told you yesterday. Oh, the chicken one. Was that yesterday?
Also, don't give it away. Say yes or no, and if yes,
yeah, but I
then
don't remember.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Here goes, people. This is Tifa's stand-up moment. Imagine, close your eyes, just listen to our voices. This is just a verbal joke. Okay? So imagine.
I laughed so hard at it, it wasn't even that funny.
Imagine, if you will, it's a dimly lit stage. When the spotlight turns on, and on the stage, Tifa, in her full glory. Tifa, go.
Jack,
Tifa?
why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know, Tifa. Why did it cross the road?
To visit the idiot's house.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who is there?
The chicken.
And then like, she stood over there, like, oh my god, Jack, I just learned the funniest joke. She comes in, she does the chicken bit, I'm like, okay, yeah. And when she does the knock knock thing, I'm thinking, she isn't just gonna go, it's the chicken, right? And when she goes, it's the chicken!
I thought it was hilarious in the moment.
She's crying. She's actually crying. Take your time, Tifa, it's okay.
I thought it was really funny.
I thought it was going to be a segue into a recap. Speaking of brainless, Tifa, do a recap.
I want to say my recaps have been really good.
When?
I had several really good recaps lately.
Over the last 3 years? Yes. Then it was several. Yeah. I take your reaction cycle. That was similar to mine yesterday. I just sat here like frozen, like... I'm happy you're having fun.
Was that yesterday though?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
It seems so long ago.
I remember because I was sitting here playing Baldur's Gate. And I was in this like super intensive story moment when you came like, Jack, I need to tell you a joke. I'm like, sure, give me 1 second.
That could be true.
It was worth it. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because the road had revealed what the chicken was gonna do to the idiot.
There's so many.
That works on like a meta level.
There's so many bad versions of these things, it's ridiculous.
Talking about bad versions of this thing. Now that's the segue I was working on. Tifa, would you like to give us a recap of what happened the last time we played Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward?
Sure, I can do that. It's a relatively short one. We are still playing Virtue's Last Reward, of course. There's no episodes. Okay, I kid.
If you were stalling any harder, you would explode like an engine.
We have decided to team up with Dio for once, who we have not been a team with before, and we went into the laboratory, which was kind of a hard puzzle.
Yes, it wasn't just colors and maps, it was colors, maps, icons and logic puzzles. And I hated it. But we did it. Thanks to Tifa brute forcing the solution to one of the biggest puzzles.
I kept telling you can be so easy, and then you kept going on for 5 minutes, and in the end it was already done.
We made cereal, yes, we mixed some muesli, that's true.
We definitely made some muesli, so all was well. Then in the safe, after we were done with the room, we found Excalibur.
We found a dosage of Excalibur.
We found Excalibur and became King of England. No. We found a dosage of Excalibur.
And Dio was like, we can help Quark.
Yes, we were like, oh, Quark, we can give it to him. And Dio was like, oh, let me see, I didn't see the bottle. Then he actually stole the bottle from us. And now he is blackmailing us into picking ally. Otherwise, he's going to destroy the bottle, which means he wants to betray us.
Potentially.
Well, pretty much. And probably escape. We're not really sure. We saved shortly after that. But Dio is an ass. I had faith in him in the end that he was gonna be a good guy after all, but fuck Dio. I fully agree.
Had really big I can fix him energy.
Not I can fix him, but I can understand his attitude in the shitty situation he's in.
Didn't.
And he wasn't that horrible yet.
Shitty attitude given the situation, yes. Him just genuinely being an asshole, no.
But yeah, now he's an absolute ass. Dio chose to cross you.
like the chicken. This makes me reconsider being a vegetarian and eating some chicken.
It's okay if you only eat the assholes. It came out really bad.
It's the cheapest cut of a meat. Please stop talking. But sad I missed the last stream because of work meeting, but I watched the Twitch VOD. I'm sorry you weren't here, but I'm very happy that you watched the VOD. Seeing you brute force the seed puzzle hurt my soul. Thank you. Thank you for understanding.
Wasn't it way faster and easier, or was it not?
I mean, yes, but that still seems dishonest.
And I even had a feeling it would be like that, because I kept telling you, just try it out and see what happens. But no, we have to discuss this for half an hour before we can actually see what the puzzle looks like.
Somebody went through all the trouble of making this wonderful puzzle and making it like super galaxy brain stuff.
Yeah, and I used galaxy brain to fix it.
And then Tifa goes, I smashed the rocks and the seeds. It worked.
What is more galaxy brain? Hacks?
Yeah, I guess.
Or no hacks and being stuck.
Anyway, you get a chicken out from being a vegetarian? You could say that, yes. In a way that makes sense. Tifa, you ready?
I think I am, yes.
Everybody, you ready? Click. There we go.
Whoop.
Do it, Tifa. Save the world.
Oh yeah, before... Actually, I don't need to.
Before what?
I wanted to say, before we go into it, I want to see the flow.
We are there. We're about to do another AB game.
Yeah. I thought maybe we're close towards an end, but not yet. So, are you really gonna do what he says? Excuse me?
I was not expecting you to read the line, so I was saying a variation of that to get us started. We share one brain cell, we both had the same idea, we just executed it differently. Yeah.
Sigma, you've only got 1 BP right now.
Oh yeah, and that too, which means Dio is basically going to kill us off.
Sibo? Nah, fuck Quark and then break Dio's bones for breaking the accelerator.
I mean, is it worth a risk? I would say almost yes.
As long as we can keep Quark in the freezer so that the symptoms don't come back, I would be all in favor of Dio getting his comeuppance.
No one says this is the only bottle.
Well, for one, that. We also don't know if there's actually Accelavir in the bottle. I mean, this is a psycho thriller killing game kind of thing.
So far we've trusted everything that was in the bottles. There's no reason to start doubting now.
No, the characters have. I haven't. Like, there's a difference.
Let's say it differently. So far none of the bottles have actually lied to us, so there's no reason to start believing that now.
But we've also never administered the Accelavir.
No, but we've administered other stuff we have found.
Yeah, Soporil. Beta.
Yeah.
So? Just because out of all the medication and drugs here, one is actually labeled correctly.
I mean, if I was Zero, I would fuck with all of them too, but...
We're gonna find out.
So far, hasn't been a thing.
If we choose ally, and he chooses betray...
I know. I'll drop to -1 and that means I'll get penalized. Yes, Tifa, penalized.
That's not how you say it. It's penalized. Still such a funny word.
I would say you're gonna get penalized, but I feel like that's breaking the terms of service of Twitch.
You have the choice of walking down the road.
You're staked out, or you can chicken out crossing him. You should have never told the chicken joke.
Well, second, you started the chicken joke.
I'm with Tifa on the penalized pronunciation. That's fine. There can
Honestly,
be different opinions on it.
I am fully with penalized. I would say penalized. But in the game they keep going with penalized.
You can bring the haha funny penis joke back though if you realize that penalized sounds more like penetration.
Can I penalize the penalization?
But that means...
No.
Well, that basically, you want to explain what that means?
No. I'm with a game on the penalized pronunciation. That's your priority.
It's like lever being pronounced as lever.
Yeah, leave her alone. Look, it's not like I want to, alright? If we don't do as he says, then he'll destroy the medicine. If he does that, then Quark will...
So you're going to die to save his life? That's... Why would you do that?
I still say we tackle him. Or we tell Miyuji about this in a way where Dio will not find out, because Dio also went like, oh, if you tell anyone, I'm gonna smash the bottle. And then let Miyuji fuck him up. And if the bottle then breaks, it's not on us.
We could do that. I wonder if that's gonna be how that turns out.
But we just need to hold him. If someone can grab him, hold his arms, or pull his jacket off, we can save the bottle.
We don't know where he put it. It could be in his inventory.
It's probably in the pocket.
What would Miyuji do? Mess him up good. Go into fisticuffs with him. In all honesty, I was terrified. My choice was from a foregone conclusion. Why can't I read? My choice was far from a foregone conclusion. Well, we should get back to the upper floor. Everybody else is probably finished already. I bet they're waiting for us. I didn't wait for Clover's response. So he just left without her?
He just turned around and walked.
And when the jar breaks? Did Tifa say that? The jar of Excalibur. Like this huge amount that we carry all like Link from Zelda style, like over our head and just go.
Well, you can have small jars. What?
It's not a jar, Tifa.
No, what is it? Bottle.
Stop trying to make jar happen. You not knowing that it's a bottle of Excalibur is honestly kind of jarring.
What you gonna do? Penalize me?
Not on stream.
Such a stupid word still.
Why do you keep putting...
Because I like following it with my mouse.
It's in the center of the screen.
It's not even in the way.
Oh, you didn't get it. There's hope for you. Oh my god. I think I just didn't... No, Tifa, I won't, because that will get us banned on Twitch.
An Ambidex Game.
Oh, look!
Does it have to do with ponies?
Yes, now stop talking.
Oh, then I know.
45 minutes.
And if anybody doesn't get it, we will not explain it.
Polling closes.
Sorry. I went ahead and cracked it open a bit early.
Again.
How
Again,
nice of
right?
you, Dio. Yes,
Okay.
as always. Dio. In one of his hands was a moon key. He twirled it around like a veteran gambler, grinned and slid it back into his pocket.
Can we take that head of his and ram it down his throat?
Did he do the thing where he just flips the card between his fingers? I can't do it. I can just give you jazz hands to imply it.
Do not get it. I'll have to rely on a friendly soul sending me a whisper.
Bedinsis, this is one of those moments where knowing will make them an unfriendly soul.
This is something
Ignorance
you
is
will
bliss.
never be able to unknown. And I think I'm gonna change the subject and press space.
You don't mind, right?
Thank you.
I figured you and Clover would get up here right away. Besides, I thought it'd be best to get this done soon before you lose your nerve. I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to the next round.
I kind of... Let's go with betray first time.
That is my first choice.
Like, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Correct.
And Dio is a terrorist in every sense of the way.
Do you think he's the bad guy? Mm-hmm. Never mind, just Google it. We warned you. We warned you. I glanced around the warehouse. Alice and Kay were back. As was Fi. And of course Clover.
What's Clover's score? Clover doesn't have one, right?
I have no idea. I apologize.
You better.
I forgive you, honest psycho, this one time. Where are Miyuji and the rest of them?
They're in the infirmary.
We carried Quark to one of the beds.
Who's the rest of them?
Miyuji. Luna.
Oh, Luna.
Miyuji and Luna are looking after him.
Imagine if she had just pressed the button and would have gotten the answer.
But I feel bad that we can't even remember these people right now.
There's so much happening. I see.
How's he doing? Well, it's hard to say.
Fine.
He seems to be sleeping soundly, but beyond that, there's really no way to know.
No change then, huh?
Right. So what was your room, Sigma?
I was in the room where we found the Excelsior, which Dio pocketed to blackmail me into choosing to ally, and if I don't, he's gonna break it. Do you guys want to have a talk with him right now? A laboratory.
Is that so?
Did it look like the kind of place where they'd be researching viruses and DNA and those kinds of things?
Yeah.
How did you know?
DNA, actually.
It did.
And they had Muesli.
Was there any of that Excelsior?
And Mr. Hoppington.
Oh, we're actually gonna talk about this. Okay. I'm in.
Wait, how do they know?
Well,
They get a hint in one of their rooms.
first of all, they could have had premonitions. Second of all, it's fair to assume that in a laboratory that looks like it's dealing with DNA and viruses in a time where the Radical 6 pandemic is happening, they might have it.
Fair, fair.
Like, assume, especially if you're like working with these samples of the stuff that causes this, you would want the vaccine, the antidote in the room. Like, what if you catch it while working with?
Makes sense.
Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelsior in here.
Why not?
Hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
I wonder if he would really do that though.
Yes, I think he will.
But that would probably also cost him his own life.
So? My eyes flicked to Dio for a moment. No, nothing. Besides me, Clover bit her lip.
I see.
So, how'd it go with you? Find anything interesting? Fi only shook her head. With a unison of movement that almost looked like choreographed, Alice and Kay shrugged.
I think they also found something.
Where does that leave us?
Did Kay also do the... well... like...
Dio brings up idiots. He must have heard the chicken joke.
It's probably his favorite joke.
I think it was pretty funny. Fair is fair.
You got me.
We still got about 40 minutes left until voting ends.
Oh god, 40 minutes, no.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a little curious about that lab you found. I thought I might go take a peek at it.
I'll show you the way then.
That would be wonderful.
If I look at the map, I know the hallways aren't that long, but it feels like it's already like a half an hour walk just to get there.
Yeah, it might be depending on which one of the doors you have to go through. But thankfully you also can't get lost because the game also only keeps unlocking the routes to the doors people have actually been to.
I don't think it is that long though, because otherwise they wouldn't take a risk going there.
Yeah.
But still.
I think I'll go have a look at the room Alice Kay and Temioji found. Never know, maybe you missed something. Perhaps there's some Excelsior hidden somewhere in there.
God, what a bastard.
Good.
Then I shall take you there.
What about you two? Where are you going?
I'll go to the garden so that I can dig Dio's grave.
Well, I think I'll start heading over to the infirmary to see how Quark's doing.
Then
How
I
sweet.
will too.
Glad that's settled.
Why do I
Why is
think
Fi
Fi
following
knows?
us?
Fi knows. She saw something. That she's gonna question us.
Potentially, maybe she's seen the part of a flow where we found the Excelsior on Quark.
I think she knows.
She nodded to Clover and they disappeared through the magenta door. Dio and Kay followed a few footsteps behind.
Can I talk to you, Sigma?
Okay then. Guess we should be going too.
Hold on. Show me that journal first.
There you go. Oh, we found a journal that we couldn't read. I was saying maybe it's hieroglyphics, like Egyptian stuff.
True, I already forgot about that.
Maybe it's Latin and then Fi could translate.
I think Latin.
Dio told me about it. He wouldn't tell me anything about the lab except that you found a journal with, his words, some sort of bullshit language.
Okay.
Sounds like Dio.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was gonna see if there was any tranquilizing gun in the infirmary.
I could use one. Yeah, maybe just accidentally like stab him in the neck with a soporil so that he just gets knocked out immediately.
Of course, for myself, for sleeping issues.
For scientific purposes.
You said you had it, so I was hoping I could take a look.
Yeah. 1 sec. I dug the journal out of my pocket and handed it to Fi.
How big is his pocket, or how small is the journal?
Well, for one, Sigma is a pretty hunky looking guy, so he's probably a bit taller and a bit broader.
That doesn't change anything about pocket sizes.
No, but if he's wearing bigger pants, maybe the pockets are justifiably larger.
Is what I say to that.
That's a nice statement. She began to flip through the pages, her eyes quickly scanning each one.
This is Latin.
Of course it is.
Someone has to be able to read it after all.
Oh, it's a small journal. Yeah, true.
Or that, yeah.
Latin? You mean you can read it?
Yeah, with time and a dictionary.
When everybody can read it. Oh my god. So, in other words, no.
Just pass it to Martin Art.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me for not being able to translate a dead language on the fly.
No, I don't actually. Martin Art could.
This looks like some kind of research log. It's not going to be some sort of, I took the dog for a walk today. It was nice kind of stuff.
Why?
I bet that's the first line in that thing.
Why would you leave behind a research log written in Latin? That's weird.
I mean, they might look at it and then recognize some things, and then it puts some piece to a puzzle.
Nope, dictionary alone doesn't work for translating Latin, speaking from experience. Maybe she also knows how to like conjugate the words, but no. Not necessarily. The dictionary only really provides the actual words. You need to info on conjugation and forms of verbs that aren't usually provided in dictionary.
Well, I'm kind of fine with it being a dead language in this case.
Wait, are you saying you're fine?
I can understand a little of it. Mostly conjunctions and things like that.
But isn't that exactly what you need?
Mm-hmm. So she knows the part that wouldn't be in the dictionary, I guess.
I mean, that would make 1 + 1 is 2.
Romani ite domum.
No, you.
First of all, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. I was reading out a message in chat in a language I don't understand.
Do you have a spell that can summon cats or something?
Something Rome, I'm guessing, but I'm not sure. You would get the gist, but you wouldn't be able to tell who's the subject versus the subject in a sentence. Conjunctions, not conjugations. Oh yeah, those are also two different things. I forgot.
Sounds really annoying.
I only know how to speak, I don't know why I'm speaking.
Also, if so many people still learn Latin,
say it like this.
and it's still being used in science, can you still really call it a dead language?
Yes, because nobody who still spoke it from when it was around still lives. So you could always, like for example, the pronunciation of words, we don't know.
Yeah, but if it now turned into a new own thing,
And
it's
then it
still
would
the
be-
same language.
Yeah, but then it still wouldn't necessarily be the Latin that is spoken the way it was spoken back then. Because no group of people survived throughout time speaking Latin.
But there's not a
No
single
one
language.
speaks it. It's a primarily written language.
Okay.
Like C++, exactly, and every other
Fair.
programming code. programming language. Yes.
But what you said doesn't really make sense, because now...
Yes, it does. Hello,
every
mommy.
language...
Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? That made perfect sense.
Yeah, because every language has evolved, or the majority of languages have evolved over the years. And no one from 600 years ago is around now.
No, but we're still speaking it.
Yeah, but not the same as 600 years ago.
But we are still speaking it.
Yeah, in an evolved form. And you were like, oh, it is not spoken like it was spoken back then.
No one speaks Latin anymore, Tifa.
But that's different. That's not what you said, though. You said it's a dead language because we don't speak it anymore.
I said that, not the rest of the world. I decreed Latin to be a dead language.
No, that was your explanation.
Yeah. Do you all recall how during 999 I solved the theorem, the problem of Theseus's ship? I mean, it took me like an hour, but I solved it. Tifa is currently solving whether Latin is a dead language or not. Keep going. I'll give you another 45 minutes to make your point.
No, I'm saying I understand, because it's also no one speaks it anymore. It's mainly a written language, but that was not your explanation.
Yes. I will just refer to my betters, like people who actually studied Latin, and quote Montanart here. Yes, languages evolve. Dead languages don't evolve. Written Latin isn't undergoing changes in how it's written or spoken, like how languages like English and French are creating new words, slang, shorthands, etc.
Then
Bedinses adds to this conversation to counter you, Tifa. An infotainment program did a test of reading old texts in Swedish, going further and further back in time to see how long back the language was still legible for modern eyes. The cutoff date was, if I don't misremember, roughly 1,000 years ago.
yeah, that makes sense.
Will you please accept that Latin is a dead language?
I already said I accepted it. What I don't accept was your explanation, is all I said. Because you said it's a dead language because it's not spoken now, or no one speaks it anymore like they did back then, and that's why it's dead. But that doesn't make sense.
For the sake of seeing the rest of his game at some point, I'm sorry, I think.
Now we can continue.
Wonderful. I think Quark died in the meantime. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, better sooner than later, I guess.
You know what I'm looking forward to, Tifa? One day, us playing through on stream the Metal Gear Solid games. Because spoilers, no spoilers, it's such a known thing that you might already know. Tifa, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this before. In one of the Metal Gear Solid games, there is a fight that might not happen depending on how long you take to get there. Because a character might die of old age.
For real?
Yes. Which usually you get by changing the date of a console. Like a year or two further, I think it is. And then you just get there and it's like, he's dead.
And if you're fast enough, he's not.
Now, if you just don't take forever, you will never have that happen to you. But with us arguing about the least important things. Yeah, it's full of technology moments like this. But with how we're arguing things like this, we might actually just find this out and have this happen to us through the way we normally continue through a game.
It would be kind of cool though, like there is this secret ending.
Yes, you can also sequence break and just accidentally kill the boss way early in the game. Also considered one of the best boss battles in the series. Yes.
I kind of like that.
Yep, all of these things are true. One of the reasons why the game is so good.
We are the first people who actually discover that in Virtue's Last Reward there's a secret ending where you took so long to finish the game.
Zero gave up.
That Zero gave up, Quark is dead, and even if you find the solution to the number 9 door, it's been shut down because everyone has long abandoned
it rusted shut. Welcome to the hidden 10th ending.
If I ever...
Just came in, what's the discussion about? Hello Sabes, happy Tuesday, how are you doing?
I think it started with Latin.
Whether or not Latin is a dead language. How about?
I think we took long enough now that somewhere on this planet another language died out.
Another Latin. It's how about we gotta press the A button. Oh look!
But most of these words I've never even seen before.
Are they made up?
All words are made up.
I love how you couldn't see this and you can't hear it. But Tifa placed her thumb on the space bar to like advance the text, and when she like, if this is the button, like the key, she did this. Like it took her 3 attempts to advance the game, and I'm sitting here like.
I like how you always complain that I press the button too hard, and when I press it too soft, there's also complaining.
Tifa, why are you stroking the space bar?
I thought I put enough pressure on it.
Modern definition, I would say it is, but yeah, it's up to you how you define that language. Ringo, hello, happy Tuesday. Don't enable Tifa, well. Please. Please. If there aren't people that use it as a first language, I believe it should be considered dead. I agree with you. Now, before Tifa gets to say anything about this, Fi started to leaf through the book again as you spoke. Then suddenly she stopped.
Wait.
It says one of the lines that are also on the wall.
I can read this one.
Oh!
Page 216.
She went through 216 pages.
This isn't research notes.
Which makes me think she's a robot.
Like a personal entry.
What's it say?
Don't rush me. This is gonna take a minute.
Yeah, with your press A. Don't rush Fi. We're taking our time here, okay?
Exactly.
Give the poor girl some time to read through this book.
If we were playing faster, it wouldn't be believable that she just flipped through 216 pages, people. We're doing this. No,
if we went faster, she would have been on page 5.
Imagine if the amount of time that occurs between you advancing the text actually changes the number of the page.
So like, those are all little details. That would be kind of cool.
They had the voice actress record like 900 different variations. Then it just shuffles through it.
I said the command side would be done this weekend, but I fucked up the website. Need to take some mistakes out before I can put it live.
See, and even if we don't stall for the game stalls by itself.
Yeah, with us they kind of can get rid of these stalling lines.
Yeah, we do that for you.
Basically.
Interesting. Alright, I think I got it.
Okay, here we go.
It looks like they're talking about Radical 6.
Also, real quick, I don't know if that's an Easter egg, but it said page 216. What's the digital root of 216?
I don't know right now. 9. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 6, 9. Yeah.
Like I said.
Yeah, but now I'm explaining how you calculate a digital root.
Oh, yeah, true. I remember math classes where just having the answer wasn't enough. I had to explain.
Yeah, you get minus points for that. This shows I paid attention in the game.
260, 216. So 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 6 is 9.
The page she was on.
Yeah. What? Oh, why are they talking about that?
Not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yes.
I'm kind of used to this being you.
I know, but sometimes you get a moment in the spotlight. This is one of those moments.
When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced.
So I have Radical 6? Is that it?
If we assume the brain currently operates on a one-on-one basis with regards to time, Radical 6 produces this to 1, what's that
Produces this?
Or reduces this to 1 in, what does the symbol mean again?
1 colon the root of 1/6.
In other words, 1 equal or 1 is 0.408. This means that for each second that passes outside, the patient feels that only 0.408 seconds have passed inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.45 seconds, or what did you say? Root? Not root.
The root of 6 seconds.
Have passed outside. What would you say? Never mind. I remember the symbol on my calculator. That's kind of where it is.
That's the part of math where I checked out.
In other words, when 10 seconds pass in the real world, a patient infected with Radical 6 would feel as if only 4 seconds had passed. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6.
Oh, because the square root thing is... Yeah, there. Evie explained this to us at some point. I think she made the same joke. Or a similar one at least.
Radical is another term for what is also known as the root operation. The function infers to the taking of a power. Also, Phi has to be a robot, right? Like, does anyone really speak like this?
I mean, Evie was able to explain all of this, so yeah.
Yeah, but in a less AI voice. This is like ChatGPT talking to me.
Radical 6 is another term for what is also known as the root operation. Your call is important to us. Please hold the line. The next agent will be with you shortly. Yeah. And he's advised to skip to the next chapter of One Piece. I'm saying...
the live action is coming out tomorrow or Thursday?
I'm saying...
Speaking of One Piece.
2 days from now. I got a notification on Netflix that it starts airing on the 31st, I think.
You can all hate me, but I'ma watch it.
I won't. Do you think Radical 6 has something to do with time travel? Oh my god!
You're putting time travel into everything.
Wait! Epiphany! Oh, where do I start? So, this is gonna mind bend all of you. So,
where do I
listen
start?
to this. Listen to this.
Do I need to get pen and paper
This is how
ready?
greatness happens. So, like a lot of people, I believe, when I'm working or doing stuff and I want some background sound, I'm putting on stuff on YouTube. Oh boy.
No,
Wait.
PH boy. You big brain.
Physics boy. Yes. So, when I'm doing stuff and I want background noise, I usually put on YouTube videos. Sometimes music, sometimes actual YouTube videos, like other stuff. And lately, I've been binging videos from Red Letter Media. You've watched me listen and watch some of their stuff.
Could be.
They do like movie reviews and a bunch of other things.
Don't go around the point too much or you'll lose me.
And one of the videos that I had playing like yesterday or something during my break, when I was actually paying attention to what they were saying, was about a really horrible movie they watched where time travel was a plot device. And the way time travel was used there is this gland in your brain. That's an actual biological thing. The pineal gland, I think. Everybody has it.
A pineal gland?
Yes, actually. No, I'm not joking. I'm serious.
I'm joking.
I think it's actually spelled PHI at the beginning, but that's not the point. So
there's a gland.
Yes, and it has something to do with how your body reacts to day time. Like melatonin, serotonin, something like that. I looked it up, I forgot all of it. Basically, it has something to do with perceived time and how your body reacts to it. And I forgot what the movie was about, but there they have a drug that like superpowers your pineal gland, and then you can time travel. Okay? What if Radical 6 has something to do with that in this game? Because Radical 6, apart from all of the other symptoms, makes time pass different for the person who is affected. And we know it does something to your brain. And there's a character called Phi, which also is a Greek letter.
I'm just putting this back so that it's easier to...
So what if we're gonna go with that extra angle of pseudoscience bullshit rammed in there? Like, oh, this virus attacks the pineal gland, and then like time gets all wobbly wonky for people who are affected by it, and that's why it's so important that we find a cure, because it's not like pandemic like COVID was, where it can like kill you, but it actually makes people like time travel.
But it's only your brain processing time different.
Is it though?
I think if it would have actually
Is it though?
affected time and space, this research thing would be a bit different.
Is it though? Because for one, we haven't continued yet. Maybe there's more. Like, it's not just the brain, it's the body. Like, you age slower and stuff. Radical 6 allows you to time travel.
I think that sums it up in a shorter version. Thank you.
Yeah, but you know, like earlier when you were like, oh, but I have to explain why I came to the conclusion of a digital route. I had to explain my work.
I mean, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. I sincerely doubt it, but sure. You already have morphogenetic fields, so second type of time travel, why would they do it? I guess to stick to the team if
Because
anything.
Radical 6 can affect everybody. Morphogenetic fields you need to be an Esper for. You need to have these like Jedi in Star Wars. You have to have these powers. And I'm guessing maybe Radical 6 is a weaponized version of a morphogenetic field and time travel. Like somebody looked at the research for the morphogenetic fields and was like, oh, I'm just gonna go full evil and make this into a virus, and then everybody just gets teleported through time.
How would you weaponize a thing that makes you slower?
And your reasoning was, I listened to a YouTube podcast about bad movies and I was inspired? Yes. Because they talked about similar things. And then it just clicked to me, like in my head. And whereas morphogenetic fields and the stuff that is happening to Sigma and Phi and the others is actually something beneficial, like you want to have ghost doors happening again. You want information from other like multiverses and stuff. Radical 6 is a malevolent thing. Like you don't control it, it just happens to you. Kind of maybe potentially like the snap that Thanos did in the Marvel movies. Like, but instead of people dying, they just get transported all. Is there a single person that doesn't know about the Thanos snap in the Marvel comics and movies?
I didn't know until
I just said it. Oh my god!
a few months ago.
Anyway.
So when I was forced to watch the movie.
Go do your thing. I'm done with my explanation and I've written it down as a prediction.
I mean, I'll take it as legit. I don't think you're correct, but I mean, it was supposed to be used as a weapon, no? So
Exactly.
Gotta do something with it.
Also, you skipped your whole line. Also, 1 second. I'm closing this door. This is such a weird sound.
Didn't I say this one?
No, you didn't. You only read the first paragraph.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tifa and Jack are like, this is your brain. This is your brain on cocaine right now. Mainly Jack.
Uh-huh. And I'll take it. I'll take it. You will... I want to... imagining your face when even half of the stuff that I'm saying comes true. I just... Is an organic field theory that everyone can use it, and Espers are just people that use it easier and consciously? I don't know. If that was the takeaway, then it's lost on me.
Well, now it comes with Radical 6 and
Surprisingly,
travel.
Tifa is the brain that's not on crack. It took me 3 years, but now it's infected me.
I keep saying that's the case, but no one believes me.
You just throw pasta at the wall and see what sticks. I have bought a pasta factory for this game.
You should see the walls.
Yeah, it's true.
So what did I skip? In a less mathematical sense, it can also be used to refer to something that is extreme or severe. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Okay, there's the quark thingy.
But why? Okay, thank you for answering, game. Thank you.
The exact cause of this is unclear, and although there is as of yet no direct link between suicidal urges and the reduction in mental processing speed, many believe that they are not unrelated. Those infected with Radical 6 perceive the world to be moving at a fever pitch, as if it were a video cassette being fast-forwarded. For instance, although the patient believes that only 10 seconds have passed, in fact 24.5 seconds have passed. Given this increased speed of input, maintaining the ability to observe and reason would become a Herculean task. Herculean task.
Yeah. So, like when we use the skip function. When the world, the game, also speeds up.
You mean it as an example, right?
Yes.
Not as, okay.
Yep, just to like imagine.
So I was gonna say that's more convenience sake. I want to believe. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. I feel like that every day sometimes.
Yeah, that's just my life. That's Monday morning. Like,
stop telling me things.
Oh my god, I'm awake. Work. No. Something like that.
Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempt to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of this virus. Also, this kinda makes sense with Tenmyuji's thing though. Like, he knew Quark was sick. They probably didn't know Quark was infected with Radical 6, which means he was already showing certain symptoms.
Nah, it wasn't the same thing.
And now he came to the end phase where he also tried to kill himself.
No.
I mean, I can imagine if time flows differently for you. You kinda like also, snap out of
if your
things.
brain basically pulls the handbrake when you're infected with Radical 6, shouldn't you also talk slower? And shouldn't all of your movements be like half the speed because your brain is operating at like 0.4 of the speed? Like, shouldn't you in general be slower, not just your thinking but also your motor functions? Like, all of this goes through the brain, right? Like, if your brain is half speed, then, I mean, thinking goes half speed, I get that, but shouldn't everything else be too? Shouldn't they like sound different to us? Simply because they take twice as long to speak now.
I'm not sure.
Not that they wouldn't be, like, their body isn't affected in the sense that their muscles could still move at the same speed, so they could still... Anyway.
I can't tell you.
Plot holes!
Might still get explained.
And then it's literally the next line Tifa gets to read.
After you and Ten argued, Quark said you were speaking so fast.
Did he?
Yeah! True! When he was in this weird...
This daze.
Daze, yes. Exactly.
Did he do that?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
In the first playthrough, where he still spoke to us before he fainted, and then you were like, oh no, he's not going through this.
Okay, but where... Oh, okay, so they actually kind of did that. He was speaking a bit like he had a high fever or he was like drunk or something. He sounded kind of out of it.
Yes, he even had the like glazed look. And I was like, oh, it's because of this and this. And you were like, oh no, it's something else. He's whatever.
But still, then... Okay, then that makes sense.
That makes sense.
But later, when he was trying to stab himself with a scalpel, that was like normal speed.
Probably, but nowhere does it say that the last phase, where the brain begins to fail, is at a different speed. It just says, hey, your brain goes nope and tries to kill itself, basically.
Now the name Excelivir also sounds kind of like it makes more sense because acceler, like acceleration.
Yeah.
Like it brings you back up to speed.
Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but we've been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. Thus far, however, we have been unable to locate a suitable subject, so I've continued my efforts to discover an alternative means of treatment. Okay,
so,
wait, so everyone...
Who's patient 0?
Everyone in here is put in with infected people trying to...
Nah, the person with the antibodies is already here and I'm guessing it's gonna be Alice.
No, this is an experiment trying to find out, or trying to get antibodies. For whatever reason we have to go through these puzzles, this is what they're trying to do with us. We are all put in here with Quark, someone who we know has been infected, trying to harvest antibodies.
But
and maybe all of this shit we're going through is somehow something to get natural immunity.
counterpoint, the cure already exists, Excelivir is a thing.
Yeah, but maybe not in a 100% thingy.
Oh, like a better cure.
Maybe it just not fully stops it, just slows it down.
Okay.
We are the test subjects trying to get antibodies. There. Theory. Don't ask me why we need to be on the moon for this.
Well, quarantine. If we're actually on the moon. Like if we die and it spreads here, who else is on the moon? Nobody. Excelivir already exists, so the antibodies already were found. Not necessarily. Maybe they found a different approach to find a cure. And maybe, like Tifa said, Excelivir doesn't have 100% rate of like succeeding in fighting the virus. Maybe it's like 50-50 or, you know, how like with COVID, there were different vaccines that these different companies made, all of them that were slightly different. All of them were made to fight the same virus.
And it could be that his efforts to discover an alternative means of treatment turned out to be Excelivir, but it's not the same. My theory, Excelivir does not contain antibodies, it just accelerates the gland in your brain. It's like using brute force to counter the symptoms, but it doesn't fight the virus directly. That makes kind of sense. I really think that we are a test experiment.
That would be a really sweet deal though. Like, okay, we cannot fight the virus, but we can fight the one symptoms that makes everything else happen. Because like if your brain doesn't go slow-mo, then you don't go nuts from being stuck in slow motion.
Yeah,
and if that seems to be the fix, then cool, we don't need to... You might still like spread the virus though. Be nice if I could like do something about that. But,
the weird thing though, why do we need to add a whole killing game to it, basically?
Yeah, the whole setting doesn't factor into this, or at least I don't see how it would. But
I don't see how it would with anything so far much.
It's like taking an ice bath for a fever instead of taking medicine. Yeah, I mean that will reduce your body temperature. You're still sick, but you are not as hot as you were before. I guess.
That is true. Given my current rate of progress, I predict that I will have a workable treatment within a decade or two.
That's why.
It is my fervent hope that humanity will be able to survive that long. So we are the last bit of humanity?
The guy who wrote the book is Sigma. Who is Zero? This all goes back into my theory. The bad guy is actually the good guy. And we're trying to find a cure to help make humanity survive this. So we set up this horrible, fucked up scenario. so that through the power of a morphogenetic field we can come to a conclusion. And now we don't just go...
Oh yeah, of course, morphogenetic field. That's why there's this fucked up killing game around it.
And now we don't just go sending information through the morpho field thingy and time travel. No, we also go full multiverse. Because if in this timeline I can't create a loop to find a cure, how about I just go with infinite possibilities, and if one of them finds it, then we all can live.
But why would he make his own memory? Or why would he lose his own memory? Because I don't think he's acting.
I think the Zero Sigma that wrote this is not the one we're playing. We are like a clone or like an earlier version of him.
Okay, so the actual Sigma is dead.
The OG, the original Sigma, is maybe still around, maybe dead and left the stuff behind. I don't know. I don't think it matters at that point.
I mean,
Sigma is Zero, but not at the part of his life where he wrote the book. But somehow, multiverse, time travel, things, it's here now.
The gland in his brain glitched and he jumped into a different universe.
I mean, we don't know if he's just uniquely blessed with the ability that his mind swaps between these multiverses, or if he's just sending information through them. I mean, Fi talked about it, like, oh, it's like this, but like, we're not at the end of the game yet, I'm not sure. Xalavir actually contains 6 gene nanomachines that turn to frogs.
I knew it! I knew it! Some of these frogs are suspicious.
There's at least one person somewhere that reads/hears this and goes, I knew it! I always told them! Is that
Never trust the frogs!
Is that how fervent is pronounced? Not as far as I know. I would have said fervent.
I say whatever comes in a moment.
But maybe it's a lever kind of situation. As I mentioned, a percentage of mortality of it. Maybe virus is basically someone trying to do the Thanos snap situation.
I believe it only said that 100,000 died.
Infected.
No, died.
Died?
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't know of how many infected. Like, if it's 100,000 people infected and 100,000 people dead, that's bad. If it's 8 billion people infected and 100,000 dead, it's still bad, but
not as bad on
less
scale.
bad, statistically. Sigma is 0 from an alternate universe. Is that for prediction? Sigma,
I don't think necessarily from an alternate universe.
Sigma is 0 at a different point in time. Like that. Yes. Yes. Yes.
The bodies of those dead from suicide are piled up along the roads leading into and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay and the sky is filled with the constant buzzing of flies. At times their swarms are so thick that when one passes it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Every day I see more crows and rats everywhere feeding on the dead. Okay, I think we can say that it has a pretty high mortality rate.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think this answers the question.
I think we're literally at like the Last of Us, or at a Last of Us stage in this case, where the world is coming to an end. We are placed into quarantine in the hopes to get the antibodies.
Or maybe Sigma 0. 6-0? Zero-ma? I don't know. Us, the player character, just grabbed the random people that weren't affected yet and just chucked them in there. Or, no, actually, forget that. This is a SOIS plot. I've talked about this. I've already made that theory happen.
I was actually just wondering how they would come into play.
The Ministry of Defense went, well, we gotta do something because, I mean, we gotta stop people from dying. So the SOIS went, well, we have all of these espers and stuff. So why don't we just like put them on a moon base against their will because they wouldn't agree to this.
I still think we're in a desert soon.
And just study them. Radical Sigma. I like it. It's gonna be the name of my punk band. Yeah.
Kind of works.
Yeah. Sounds worse than the plague.
I think it actually is. I'm getting the feeling that it actually is.
Yeah, in terms of like being able to process this, I mean, like people getting sick and dying in like hospitals and at home, that's already bad. That's a sad thing to think about.
We might be some of the last people alive.
Yeah, but imagine like going through the street, like you're going shopping, and like the people in the apartment buildings around you have caught Radical 6, and you listen to them argue with the people they live with that they're about to commit suicide because they got this. That's... yeah, no, I don't want to imagine that scenario.
Ironically, the only healthy-looking creatures are the stray cats who have grown fat on a plentiful rodent diet. What?
Hence Sigma's thing with cats.
But there's no...
This book is written by Sigma.
Katze streicheln. There should at least be a cat joke in the line here then somewhere.
No, I don't think so.
The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. We are the handful. Their survival is the only hope that remains for the human race. Oh Lord, please, let their future be a bright one.
So, why does no one say anything about the world ending? Clover Ench has a theory that others know discounting free pot people, so why no one mentions and why the hell they tried to escape before confirmed Radical 6 person in facility? Because they don't know.
It could be that when Quark was thrown in here, it wasn't known yet that he was infected.
The people that are in here do not know, or they had their memory wiped. Maybe K actually had it, or like knew about it, but he had his mind wiped. Clearly, whoever did this can induce memory loss, or the chance of memory loss, which is, I'm guessing K is gonna be like the Deus Ex Machina plot device where he goes, oh, I remember people around me dying from this. And the others, I mean, we only found 3 cryopods. That doesn't mean there aren't more. There's plenty of doors we can't go through, and I don't think throughout the normal gameplay we will be able to. Maybe at the very end.
They don't all need to all be together.
Yeah, when we see, oh, there were actually more cryopods. Like maybe 6, maybe they're all clones.
Maybe 9.
Maybe
8 plus 1 robot.
This is science fiction where everything can happen, so just because nobody brought it up or nobody knows doesn't mean it hasn't already happened.
I'm also not shocked with the no one bringing it up, because then we go back into K's helmet. Which also no one brings up that he can try to take it off, like...
Also a point.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot of information.
I agree, and therefore I say we take a short break to process all of it.
I will do my best to not forget anything we just talked about in the couple minutes. BRB.
BRB. We're back. I just had to swallow.
Tifa thought the asterisk you're talking about, Bedinsis, was dirt on her screen. And now I saw it too, thank you. Now I know what to fix next time.
It's tiny.
It's time to repopulate.
This kind of reminds me of a not breedable hips discussion we had
a
long time ago.
You were very superficial with your choices for potential candidates for it. Whoa, that's a lot of information. Now we know what the virus does to you, though. If you get infected, your brain slows down by the root of 1/6. That's, what, about 40%?
Imagine just saying your brain slows down by like 40%.
Yeah, like what exactly does the point, like the decimal point, matter? Like, oh,
well, all in all, it matters for research.
Yeah, but like as an affected person, I wouldn't sit here like, it's okay, it's only 40.9%. If it was 40.6, I would be worried.
But if you have a percentage, it seems easier to go with the percentage than, oh, the root of 1/6.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you still need to calculate the root of 1/6.
That isn't the important part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go, Tifa. Guess not. Okay.
I felt it was kind of important, but sure.
Okay, let's see. What is it?
Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a parasite, by the way. I mean, a lot of parasites that take over a host's body try to get the host to kill themselves.
You are aware that a virus is technically a parasite, right?
Yeah, kind of. Like in my mind, I see this snail. You have like a parasite that takes over snails, and it kind of turns them into a disco ball. I'm not going into the graphics, but the snail kind of turns into a disco ball, and the parasite then forces it out in the open so that
it gets eaten.
Flashing thingy gets eaten, and then the parasite gets eaten, and then can lay its eggs in the bird. And
what part of stop talking was too little for you? I only said it like 3 times.
This is not graphic, though. I didn't go into all of the details. I kept it superficial.
Did any of you come here today to hear about snails getting eaten?
But it's fascinating.
No. Viri aren't part of a tree of life, though, so could you really call them a parasite? I mean, it's a life form that uses its host to spread. I mean, maybe it's not a parasite, but it's a parasitical relationship. Does that make sense?
In this case, I also don't think so. But it acts like some parasites does. Or do. Yeah.
And you're the one that was discussing with me and everybody else earlier the definition of dead language?
It wasn't about the definition. It was about your explanation.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
That would explain why Quark was trying to kill himself. Still find it weird that he was talking.
There are 2 other things in here that worry me.
I kind of want to know what happens if the suicide, like in Quark's case, was unsuccessful. Do you keep going in an infinite loop where you keep trying to kill yourself, or will it at some point wear off? I mean, the majority of people died because they managed to actually commit suicide.
Well, from what I understand from that book that was read out to us, it doesn't kill you, it makes you very suicidal. Because your brain doesn't allow you to function the way you used to.
Yes, but if you can stop someone from actually committing suicide, is it something that could wear off?
We don't know if somebody ever naturally fought it off. Like when you have a viral infection, what you do to get over it is to survive the infection. Usually. So
exactly.
Tifa has a point, is the idea to just put them in a straitjacket and keep them alive until this thing wears off after who knows how long?
I mean, I'm sure that's an experiment that would be done in a situation like this. See how long it takes for it to pass.
K could be that experiment.
Oh, you think that's like a protective suit?
He is in this exoskeleton super suit so that he cannot kill himself.
But why only K?
Because they only had the means to make one of these outfits.
Ah, okay, I kinda like the reasoning behind the suit thing for that, yeah.
Called it.
Also explains why.
I mean, not confirmed yet, but now that we think of it like this, it would make sense. You just put a person in a place where they can't end their life, and you keep them nourished and fed and hydrated, and then they just ride it out.
Even though I want to think they could also stop breathing.
No. That's not possible.
You don't think the virus would be able to force your body to stop doing that?
No. The virus doesn't do anything to you other than making your brain slow, therefore driving you insane.
Fair enough.
You cannot hold your breath by your own choice to the point where you suffocate. your reflexes kick in and you will breathe. You will be in a world of pain probably from doing this to your body, but you will start breathing again.
Yeah, but if it can deactivate your reflex...
It doesn't deactivate your reflexes. It makes your brain slow to a certain point, and that's it. Stop adding more symptoms that haven't been discussed.
Do you hear this? Stop adding things that haven't been discussed.
Not things, symptoms.
Stop. That doesn't matter. It comes down to
does.
stop adding things that hasn't been discussed.
That's the thing. Viruses aren't life forms. They're just malicious strings of protein. I don't know it. I'm just ignoring all of this nonsense because you know what I said. You should write novels, Jack. One day.
It boils down to the same thing. So you can add novels, stories, anything that hasn't been discussed yet, but the moment it's about a symptom, it's not okay. Is what you're saying.
Sorry, I was writing down my prediction. What?
What's your prediction?
That Kay is in the suit to write out the infection of Radical 6.
Wow, he's even writing off of my stuff.
Yeah, but I said it first.
So I got it, but I got it backwards. Yeah, it half counts. Didn't call it yet though, because we don't know if it's actually true.
That's why it's called a prediction, Tifa.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what are the other two things that Firewar is about?
First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that?
What am I supposed to make of it? Maybe they just hadn't found one when this journal was written?
It's also kind of hard to get a treatment when the entire world is dying. Like the people, the scientific minds that might come up with it might have already been infected and died, which kind of makes things harder to move along.
Yeah, like imagine if the people that would normally work on finding the cures get infected first, and then their brilliant minds are reduced to, well, what happens to you when you catch Radical 6 and your brain just makes you go, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
Like, let's say we're one of the few people left. You ain't getting that treatment, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but to be fair, like with how smooth-brained we already are, if you slow us down to 40%, it's hard to tell the difference.
I mean, that is true, but
like we could have Radical 6 and nobody would know.
Notice.
Nobody could tell.
I do talk really slow though.
No, you don't.
In my mind? No, I seriously do. In my mind, I talk really fast. Or not really fast, I talk normal speed. Like average speed, maybe not too slow, not too like super speed as well. But when I listen back to our streams, I talk really slow. I have
it just feels like what.
I have like the Obama speech going on. Even in my normal sentences.
Don't get it twisted.
Which I find...
That's...
which I always find really weird when I listen back to it, because in my mind I don't have that.
Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah, but I hear it.
We both take breaks to think sometimes. It's normal.
Yeah, sometimes, but it's with all my sentences.
It just feels like that for you.
I suppose. But regardless, if we were actually in a situation like that, I think I might find an accidental cure by just eating a random mushroom that I find outside. And then it turns out that was like the enemy of the virus that infected us. And then thanks to the mushroom, it got sweated out and we're all fine.
The piece of dirt that was stuck under Tifa's fingernail when she went outside and then didn't wash her hands properly when she came inside gave her a counter-infection. And that's what cured her.
Oh, go on.
Honestly,
you know
possible.
It would exactly go like that.
Yeah. Probably with you, yes.
And people go like, what did you eat? What cured you? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
The greatest minds of a generation working on finding a cure.
I'm not that smart, honestly.
True, but most of the people smarter than you have unfortunately fallen victim to the disease.
Probably a line that was actually uttered during this whole thing.
Could be a legit situation.
Meanwhile, I mean, from what we know, there's a drug called Excalibur that cures it.
Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that.
Hold on a second. I'm getting confused. When was this thing even written?
December 29th. No year.
Well, there's no way it was written this year.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions.
This is an underground shelter.
The newspaper article said something about quarantining people too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing.
After all of this, I actually think we might be in space.
It seems...
Like, the spread of Radical 6 got so bad that they actually went through the trouble of using the last of their resources to put people on the frickin' moon.
But then they also went to the moon first to build these shelters.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like a moon thing, but I think it's more like in the first game and we're just in desert area.
Or maybe we are in a building that looks like a moon base in like a Truman Show dome kind of thing, looking like we're in space. So it's like we're in a building, so that we don't know.
Or that. I mean, the building was also quarantined, and therefore it's isolated in a desert.
Gravity seems normal, we can't be on the moon. Mars? Maybe? A planet that
could also be something...
we could feasibly go to where gravity seems normal?
Or some device inside the building that makes gravity inside perfectly fine.
That is a science fiction thing, that could be. And how does that work? If
being on the moon is normal, so is that.
Assuming you are on a different like on a planet with different gravity for long enough, wouldn't your body adapt? Wouldn't like your leg muscles and stuff, if you don't work them out, wouldn't they like atrophy to the point where like you still move normally?
I think if you've been stuck in a pod, for example, while being shipped to the moon, I don't think your body adapts.
That's why Phi could jump so high. Yes, potentially. Maybe Phi and K aren't robots. They just work out in normal gravity, and
but
we
then
are
why
actually
Sigma?
on them. Because he's been here for so long. His legs are weaker.
So you think they've been shipped to the moon in different intervals?
Yes. Yes.
I mean...
Or during the whole, we're gonna put you on ice, they did something to him to make him physically weaker, at least his legs.
I wouldn't be surprised, but for now, convenience sake and easier in a pandemic like this, I'm gonna go with moon base in the desert.
I'm sorry, but we are at the point where they have cryopods and an antimatter engine.
I mean, yes.
Yes, I also don't want to go with, it's just sci-fi this, it's sci-fi that.
But then if there is a cure, if there is a cure, saying that this is the experiment,
Alice was lighter than expected.
How is it gonna get back to Earth?
Morphogenetic fields.
Oh, like that.
We don't need to concern ourselves with distances anymore.
Yeah, okay,
Plus,
true.
Tifa,
I already forgot the morphogenetic fields.
The actual morphogenetic field of our generation, the internet. And wireless transmission of data.
Well, that's not an option in this building.
No, but I'm pretty sure there's like a control room somewhere that can transmit something.
Or we have a robot among our midst that sends it back to Earth. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
Fuck Earth, we'll be mooning to the moon! Together with all the cryptocurrencies. Same phrase was used when we carried Quark, yeah.
True.
I mean, that's a beautiful, like, it could be just a red herring kind of thing. Because... Again, we've got the Steam thingy open, and there it's a shot.
It could be trying to trick us.
It's the character art of Junpei from the first game and of Sigma. And he's got the guns. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter who he carries, he thinks everybody is like lighter than they might seem. Because he looks like he works out.
It does kind of make sense. If you put all of it next to one another, but it could just be a trick.
Yeah, or they're clones from bird people with hollow bones.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
We all thought the same thing. More people. No, Sigmund, not more people.
Lizard people.
Cat people.
Cat people would be kind of cute.
Meow. Sigmund would be so confused.
What if this was one of those quarantine facilities?
Get with a
This
program,
journal
Fi.
seems to suggest the opposite.
We've discussed this already multiple times.
Fi's a bit like you. Like, I say something, and then she tries to take the credit.
Again, I would like to point out to people that Tifa is uncontrolled. So if that happens, it's because of when you press a button. Exactly.
Few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters.
Where do you think the government went?
She would have been with a program if you pressed her. Yes.
Morphogenetic fields. She was gonna say something else, but now said this.
It's true. You're trying to say that this place might be one of those underground shelters. Which would mean we're all supposed to be uninfected. We would have been thrown in here to keep us safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible.
But Quark's been infected, right?
And maybe the virus got in somehow.
That would be bad.
Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense. Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades.
Hey, I didn't say anything about that.
No, but I said all of these things.
I even said it explains how there is a difference in age between Tenmyuji, who's 7, and Clover currently.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know when these individual people got kidnapped to be here.
While we were sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened. And whoever had this journal made this entry.
And then once the antiviral treatment was finished, they woke us up.
Right. It's all just speculation, but
No, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it seems like a pretty plausible scenario, but we were all captured before the pandemic started, right?
yeah.
And how would they have put us to sleep before? And how would they have put us to sleep for that long? How would they have known to do that? But most importantly, why the hell are we playing the Nonary game if the point of this place is to save us? Throwing a bunch of people into a game that might kill them is a pretty weird way to protect them from a pandemic.
It's so that you don't get bored.
It's so that you can send the way to fix this whole situation back in time through the morphogenetic fields to save the past.
I like the board thing.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
And you know who's also always right? Evie, congratulations on being
Congrats on being
second.
second.
Information
How you
to make
doing?
any real conclusions.
Happy Tuesday.
And that.
I think we should see if we can find anything else.
I had barely finished speaking before she took off with a magenta door. Hey, weren't you coming to the infirmary with me?
Changed my mind. You can tell me about Quark later.
Okay, fine.
How about we all get into a jumping competition? Like all of us. We try to jump up, just straight up, as high as we can. And then maybe we can tell who has been here for how long. No?
I mean,
hello Dark Lord Noah. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? It's a
What
good
he said?
Bird Tuesday. Yes, it is. All of my theories are being solidified.
not really. Not yet.
I mean, in real life, politicians have tried fixing pandemics, letting everyone die. That is unfortunately something that is not a joke, but a fact. Yes. It's kind of a weird timeline we all live in.
Yeah, you can now compare the two. Like, this is absolutely unrealistic. They
But
wouldn't put
so is
random
some of the
people
things
in
we've
here.
lived through, if you ask me. Yeah. No, it's not that wild anymore.
Like, where's the government themselves? They're the first ones that go into a bunker.
Maybe
There's
there
one
are.
thing I've learned.
Yeah, but who says they aren't?
I mean, fair.
And with that, it's your line. And with that,
I haven't said that in a while.
yeah, I'm missing it. Bring back and with that. She was gone. Man, I let out a long, tired sigh and started off toward the infirmary.
Off we go.
Went to an anime con this weekend. Ooh,
Oh, that sounds nice.
that
How was
sounds
it?
awesome. What
It's
did
probably
you
the first
all
one in a
do
while,
there?
no?
I looked up, like Tifa and I were talking about like going to like a Comic Con, because I told her that like on my bucket list there's like going to like a convention and maybe doing a cosplay at some point. And he's like, oh, we can just go to like the German Comic Con. So I opened the website and it confused me. Like, it doesn't seem like there is just like one German Comic Con. There is like at least a dozen still happening this year. Like, I saw one for Supernatural, like for like horror movies.
Team-based. Makes kind
Yeah.
of sense.
I wonder, do we I need to still look this up. Do we actually have a German Comic Con, like an umbrella term one, or
I
is
mean,
it
you have
just
like a
different ones?
big general one for everything.
I don't know. I guess
Wasn't
so.
that last weekend?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That was Gamescom.
Okay.
Different thing. Also cosplay and stuff, but yes, not the main attraction.
Fair.
One Nerd Jeopardy and Pokemon trivia. Nice.
Congratulations.
Nice.
That's pretty
Cosplayed
cool.
actually my first time. Makise Kurisu from Steins Gate. Okay, I was gonna say Monica, but
Oh,
beat
that
me
also
there.
would have been pretty cool.
Potentially, yes. I mean, I would have disagreed for obvious reasons, but still.
Did you go like a full weekend or was it like a 1 day kind of thing?
Attended 13 panels and events. It was pretty fun. I am super happy to hear that. That makes me more likely to at some point bite the bullet and just go to one of these. Am I told to cosplay as Monica? That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. You can still do it if you want to.
You have this pretty famous cosplayer in Japan who's like this really old dude who keeps cosplaying as Sailor Moon characters.
Oh,
I
excuse
forgot
you?
his name.
You're a pretty old dude.
What? He's like in his 70s.
So?
As young as you feel.
Stop age-shaming people, Tifa.
No, I'm saying it's okay. As long as you have fun.
Exactly, that's the most important part. Someday I'll go to Anime Expo when I can afford it. I don't believe how many people aren't 15 and cosplay as Sailor Moon. I would imagine the majority of people are not the age of a character they cosplay as. But
Most
if you
people
ask
are
me,
a bit older.
if you ask me, that's the beauty of it, no? I mean, it's costume play. If you looked like the character, would it really be a costume? I mean,
I
I
went to
get it.
an anime convention in the Netherlands once,
no.
which was also pretty fun. Back then it wasn't as big yet. I went when I was in high school.
Before it became mainstream over here in Europe. Yeah.
Well, the actual expo has grown massively at this point.
Understandable.
Like, it's much bigger than it
Yeah.
used to be like 50
It's
years
become
ago.
way
which
more
makes sense.
mainstream.
Which
Not
makes
in a
sense.
negative way, but like more people know about like anime and manga and video games, and it's not like oh, you play video games, you're a nerd kind of thing, you know. It's like
Basically.
it's a hobby.
Which is fun. They can be great. I don't think cosplay... I didn't go in cosplay back then. Don't think it would have worked for me back then. Especially since it was like a 4-hour journey to get there, which sucked.
Even heard that there are human beings cosplaying as non-human characters.
Cringe.
I guess I'm pretty sure we're talking furries right now, which not my cup of tea.
I believe furries
But-
have their own expos.
I'm pretty sure they do, yes.
Do I want to Google that? Probably
No,
not.
if you do it on your accounts or in incognito mode, please. It depends on what kind of like non-human character, I would think, and whether it's well done, and for what purpose, I guess. Like if somebody did like a Pokemon cosplay, Very high chance it would be a weird thing, but not necessarily. I mean,
technically you can make every cosplay a weird thing.
I meant more for people cosplaying elves, hobbits, etc. I mean, sure, there are furries too. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I see when you said non-human,
We
I was
immediately went
thinking.
to furry.
No, I was thinking like non-humanoid. You know, because like putting on elf ears is like. I mean, it's cosplay, yes, but it's not like making yourself into like, I don't know, a demon from some anime or video game, which I would imagine is way more elaborate and like wings and stuff, maybe horns, I don't know.
Some cosplays are actually super impressive, though, especially like when they make like these entire wing sets or like super fancy outfits. I would be so scared it breaks or something.
Rimuru cosplay. Yeah, just put a ball of slime there. It would work.
It would be super cool.
Or wear whatever you want and say, oh, haven't you read the latest light novel? I'm the character that Rimuru just impersonates. Right? That's the beauty of it too.
Also, Chainsaw Man, I didn't see it, but he also has to, apparently it's really good. He also has two chainsaws for hands.
On his mother's side. Potentially. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen or read the manga yet. I still need to.
Like, it doesn't seem handy.
Yeah, but it kind of suck. Edward Scissorhands says hi. But I'm super happy for you, and now that just makes me feel like I should go into this more. We
can look at one next year. I think most of the bigger ones have already
Let's have a look.
Gone past.
I mean, I still need to think about who I would cosplay, or who I could cosplay.
You can cosplay anyone.
I feel like just going there, like if I already go there, I need to go all the way, you know?
If you want to.
You know who we could cosplay? And I know these two streamers. I think they're called something with a food item and a letter or something. You could go as Jack.
Oh yeah, I have a t-shirt that would perfectly.
I'll just cosplay myself. No. Then you just wear a white dress shirt and black slacks. A hard part of his look is his puffy blonde hair and shark teeth.
I mean, it can be fixed with a wig.
And no, Tifa, we won't go into body modification and file down our teeth.
I actually wanted to do that when I was younger, but my parents threatened to disown me. I even had a dentist that was willing to do it.
Thank your parents for not letting that happen. That's not necessarily a great idea.
Not shark teeth though, just like the vampire hook teeth. So sexy.
I'd love to see someone make a dog cosplay Rimuru and then cosplay one of his underlings, for example Diablo.
I wouldn't be surprised that if you Google that, you will absolutely find it.
Yes.
There is no way no one did that.
Oh, you know who I want to cosplay?
Oh.
Lord Ains Ulgaun from... what's it called?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ah, I can't think of the name. Overlord.
Overlord, yeah.
Because I think he's like 9 feet tall and like this huge like stature. So I could just make
Just gotta give you fancy shoulder pads to make
you don't even
broader.
see me under that. I probably need stilts too, to be like superimposing and stuff.
Well, you can forget about the size, but we can definitely make you a bit broader with shoulder pads.
He's 9 feet tall, just like Jack. Not even close. But
Jack's like 8.7.
I feel like if you wanna, like if you can and are willing to put in all the work to give him a lot of stilts, to do that kind of elaborate cosplay. Like it also gives you the chance to just disappear into the character, because you won't see me in all of this like ropes and like skeleton costume and stuff. Like it's impossible.
With stilts could actually be fun though. I can walk on stilts.
Really? What's it in centimeters? 3 meters roughly, I want to say. 280, 290s, like very tall. Yeah.
Yeah, actually could make
6 feet is like, yeah, about 3 meters. Inhumanly tall.
Very tall.
Way taller than Quark, who we're trying to find. How's he doing?
Stable, as far as I can tell.
Not standing on stilts, obviously.
Still sleeping.
Wait, is there a physics joke hidden there? If Quark is stable? Is it like a quantum mechanics kind of like Easter egg? I'm overthinking. I see. Mind if I have a look?
Please, go ahead.
Quark?
Are you stable? I made my way around the partition to the side of Quark's bed.
He's still gonna wake up in one of the lines, so.
The journal and the thing Fi I had talked about. The journal and the thing Fi and I had talked about would definitely need to be addressed, but for the moment the AB game was what I needed to concentrate on. Lives were at stake. Mine. And Quark's. Yeah, we just went to it.
Oh yeah.
Found a photo of someone in Rimuru cosplay with a dog, but no dog cosplay in Rimuru. Not yet. Maybe one day. Quark's like the place you store horses.
Oh, stable.
I had to think for that one.
Really bad. I just want to put that out there.
If the journal was telling the truth, then as soon as the anesthetic wore off, Quark would go insane again. What if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before we got to him? Or perhaps he'd just get out of the infirmary and hide somewhere.
All possible.
On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep anesthetizing him forever. Anesthetizing? What kind? I hate that word.
I'll take it.
There was only one way to save Quark, and that was with Excalibur. Unfortunately, Dio had stolen it. If I wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if I did, there was an excellent chance I would end up dead. The question was then what to do. Sacrifice myself to save Quark? Or keep quiet about the danger he was in to save myself? I was so faint I almost didn't hear it.
Grandpa. Grandpa.
He shifted a little, then fell silent again. It was enough, though. What on earth had I been thinking? How could I even consider letting a child die in my place? Suddenly my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I had considered letting Quark die even for a minute was pathetic. There was only one choice. There had only ever been one choice.
Yeah, Dio dies.
Yeah. Good people wouldn't do that. They wouldn't even think about it. Exactly.
Good thing we're going the betray route.
Anesthetizing. My mouth is incapable, I'm sorry. No way was I going to leave Quark to die. My hands tightened to fists as I looked down at him. Any uncertainty I'd felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do. You okay there? You don't seem very stable.
Ambidex Game polling closes.
You got it, you said it perfectly right. Thank you. I will never manage to do that again, no problem. A stable joke. Thank you for that clip.
Alluring honest sheep, Mike Hogarth. I'll take it. Thank you for the clip.
What's a Mike Hogarth? Actually, I don't want to know. It's probably in real fun.
After all this monologue, Sigma picks betray anyway.
Sigma would never.
It was like Radical 6. We thought one thing, but then our body already did something else, and it like couldn't keep up with our decision.
Nobody here would ever pick betray.
If no vote is recorded,
No, Sigma.
the deadline
Jack
has
does.
passed.
I'm fully behind the betray.
Will
My hand slipped. Whoops.
results will be displayed in the warehouse.
I want to say that so far Tifa has never chosen to betray somebody.
Except for now.
You haven't chosen anything yet.
Yeah, yet, but except for now. Now I will pick betray.
You two should head back.
What about you?
Not going. I'm worried about Quark.
But you're a solo. If you don't vote...
I'll automatically ally. I know.
What's your word?
I'm not
I
sure.
heard the voice on the intercom just like you.
Alice?
What are you going to do if Kay and Alice vote betray?
Nothing, I suppose. Just means I lost that round.
I mean, you get plus points for betraying us.
Yeah, you're safe, aren't you?
I'd just be voting ally anyway. You know who my opponents are, right? Alice only has 1 BP left. If I pick betray and they chose ally, I'd kill her. I'm not so desperate to escape that I'm gonna kill someone for it. And even if I was, I can't leave Quark behind.
He's the only character who I actually believe when he's saying these things.
They do have a good reason to pick betray, because Kay would get 9. Alice would be out of the 1 faster, but...
Yeah, also safe.
Would Alice also risk getting Kay to 9 and risking him leaving them behind? I'm not sure.
You're being an asshole competition and your competition is Dio. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
I'm still not sure who's on the higher list though, Sigma or Dio?
Dio.
You see? Doesn't matter if I go into the AB room or not. My vote's the same either way.
Tamuji's mind was made up. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright, take care of Quark.
Of course. You worry about yourself.
Let's go.
Okay.
Luna and I headed out of the infirmary, leaving Tamuji and Quark behind. When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. One person's missing. There's one person we have not spoken about in quite a bit.
He's probably already in the room.
No. Old dead lady. What happened to her?
She's still laying in the infirmary.
Yeah, but we never even thought about her again.
What happened to her? Where do you think she's going?
We still have a whole mystery of who is she? Why is she here?
Or do you want me to go into the science part of what happens?
Imagine if Tenmyuji or someone were to handcuff Dio, thereby defaulting into ally without the info of the Excalibur having slipped out.
Yeah, but then he could still smash the bottle.
Exactly. And be like, oh, it's an accident. Already decomposed because he didn't press A fast enough.
Sigma's assholery is entirely up to the player. I mean, you have a good point. And
That's
I
true.
also agree that they have a lot of other things on their mind. I
Yes.
mean, they're kind of in a killing game. They can't think about the dead lady the entire time.
I mean, as bad as it is, she's already dead. And we're trying to save our lives.
And that.
Well, not quite everyone. One other person was missing.
And I don't think he's talking about that.
Hey, where's Dio?
Take a look at the doors.
They're all closed. What?
Wait, did he go in and close the door because of that? No, that's not possible.
You can't... How can he close all doors by himself? When we came in here before, the one on the far right was open.
And that would mean...
Bet he went in, I guess.
But this is not possible. That means 2 groups are fucked. Because no one in those 2 groups can vote.
Did he go in, close the door from the inside, and then jump through the roof thing?
No, I think it registers that someone goes in and then all doors close, which probably means we have to go in at the same time.
Which
roughly.
means you should press a button.
Exactly.
Now, you have the cards to open your doors. Oh, true, we need to use them. That bastard. He'd probably been worried I might try and take the Excalibur from him by force, so he hid himself in the AB room. He's locked himself in.
Oh.
I'm way overthinking. Yeah, okay. Our doors are closed because we didn't open them yet. He's closed in because he closed it from the inside. Yeah.
But earlier all the doors were open. Well, it doesn't matter. We can still go in. That's what's most important.
What a coward. I had made up my mind to choose ally no matter what, but a part of me had still considered trying to jump Dio if he dropped his guard. No, I made sure I wouldn't get the chance to try.
Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh,
Luna explained Tenmyuji's choice.
I see. Well, I guess that means I don't have to worry about him picking betray.
right. What What will you guys be choosing then?
Ally, of course.
Of course.
I heard that before.
This is basically Sigma's face right now.
Yeah. Ally.
Because my BP is 6, I assume.
Yes.
See? She would be worried about Kay getting 9 and leaving them behind, so she's not gonna go betray.
As long as Tenmyoji votes ally, I can't choose betray. If I do, Kay's BP will go up to 9.
What if...
What if he forces you?
Exactly. Thank you. You pressed the button when I was about to ask this question.
Kay is such a nice dude. Does he look like someone who would use force?
He still looks like a BDSM robot, yes. We don't know if by choice. I'm just saying, if I saw Kay coming at me in the middle of the night outside, I would be worried. Kay, that's it.
You needn't worry.
That laugh sounded weird.
Ha ha ha. No need to worry.
I would never do something so crass.
I would.
I would never hurt you. The parrot just before it tries to rip your throat out.
Really?
Of course.
Then we
His
don't
face.
need to go in there.
Excuse me?
Alice can vote by herself.
Honest psycho. You're
Stay
getting
outside,
there. You're... Nice.
Then we don't have anything to worry about, right?
Well, I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't agree to that.
Why not?
I just can't.
Why not?
Shall we go, Alice?
Hey, hold on a minute there.
Kay continued briskly walking toward the AB room as if he simply hadn't heard why. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out. So why can't she not go in alone?
That's a little bit sus.
Yeah, that's not suspicious. No, not one bit. Nah. Only seconds later they disappeared into the third room from the left.
I hope Alice is going to be okay. Well, there's nothing we can do now. If Kay told the truth, she'll be fine.
I do think they're still gonna pick Ally.
Why can't he stay outside?
That I don't know, but I really think the outcome is gonna be Ally.
What if he's blackmailed like we are? But how? What? I
The
mean,
one
we don't
says
know
we're the
anything.
only one with a bottle.
Oh, true.
There can
Presumably there's at least 2 doses of Excelivir, because in a previous flow we played through, Quark had found it in the infirmary. And now we found
True.
ours in the laboratory.
True.
Okay.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex Game polling closes.
Kay doesn't want to be left out of the room. I guess he was the one with the card, so they couldn't really stop him. I mean, even if he didn't
They
have
could just
the
go,
card.
can you give him a card, please?
Yeah, but that wouldn't really happen either. I mean, someone needs to go in there. Even if he did have the card, or if he didn't have the card, that door would need to be opened.
But I don't get it. Why can't he stay outside, other than fishy reasons we don't know about yet?
Well, that I get, but we couldn't stop him regardless, whether he had the card or not.
Time's almost up. Come on, Luna. Right.
They headed off at a trot toward the second room from the right and were soon out of sight inside it. Right, Clover, time for us to go.
Oh, okay. Right behind you.
I sighed to myself and headed toward the leftmost AB room. Click. Are we gonna have a whole debate with Clover now? Oh no. The Ambidex game will now begin.
Too little time, I guess.
Still got 5 minutes.
What are you gonna do?
I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm going to choose Ally.
You can't!
Oh, Clover is on our side. Look at that.
You mean on my side? I'm the bad guy here.
Why? This is not a bad guy decision thing.
You'll die!
Well, you never know. Just because Dio told us to Ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pick Betray.
Do you really think a jerk like that is going to choose Ally if he doesn't have to? No. No way. He's got 6 BP right now. If he picks Betray, then he'll have 9 points.
Well, what about you?
Huh?
You've got 6 BP too, right? If Dio chose Ally and we chose Betray, then you'd have 9 BP.
What? No, that's not... I didn't even realize that until you brought it up. I'm just trying to tell you that Dio is going to pick Betray. That's who he is.
And I'm trying to tell you that I've made up my mind. That's who I am. The only choice is Ally.
I find these conversations like really funny. We are so convincing every single time. I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick Ally.
And then Jack grabs
we
my
go.
mouse.
Nope.
Nope. If you say so, Clover, Betray this. You know.
Oh.
We're gonna die someday. Why not today? I mean, for a good cause.
In this situation, I agree that Betray is the only choice.
The only choice. We'll see about that. It's the only chance we have to get that medicine back.
That's why Dio called you an IG. What makes you think he's going to give us the Excelivir even if you do what he says?
Maybe he won't, but I can guarantee that he'll destroy it if we pick Betray. That's who he is.
Fine. If you aren't gonna listen to me, then I guess I don't have a choice. I'll be pushing that button.
Huh? Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran toward the voting machine. No! Stop! I snatched her by the arm and hauled backward with all my strength.
Can we knock her out?
Ow!
Nah. Potentially dislocated her shoulder, but... sorry. Guess that was a little too hard, huh?
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You can't just throw a girl around like that.
Didn't you have special training?
Oh, you're the one who tried to trick me?
But you're gonna die! Dio's going to kill you! You can't do this! I don't want you to die.
Oh, that's kind of sweet, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex...
Sigma wanted Ally, you force him, it's your fault. I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that, Clover. I gave her my best reassuring nod and turned to face the polling machine.
3, 2, 1.
And all of that just to still press that button anyway. That would be so
We
mean
agreed with
Of the
to like string her on like...
completed.
Yes, thank you so much for believing in me, and I'm giving up my life. I'll do it for Quark. Betray, betray, betray. No. It's been a pleasure.
What just happened?
It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you. With like in all these horrible scenarios I imagined, I couldn't have asked for a better partner, Clover.
Results.
I'm sorry.
will
Betray.
display in the warehouse.
Clover, I love you. And then when he's dumbfounded, sneaks past and votes Betray. Also would have made sense. Also,
She convinced us in the very last moment.
Ambidex gates.
that
now
reminds me.
open.
When I was a little wee lad, like school hired this like instructor, teacher kind of person to like do a course with us about what to do if a stranger tries to like follow you or like kidnap you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we were taught is that you scream loud and you say something super confusing. Because if you say something that is just out there, people get confused and that like breaks them out of what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was supposed to yell, "Strawberry ice cream!" I remember that, oddly. But that reminds me, when we had the white stuff on our hand. All of these, like, hey, it's, you know what it is. Those conversations, I still believe they would have gotten us out of the whole situation way faster than, oh, no, I'm not hiding anything. It's not white blood.
How did you get to this again now, by the way?
Well, the whole, like, trying to confuse people to get to do something that they want to stop you from. If Clover would have gone like, I can't have you choose Ally because you might die and I love you. I honestly think Sigma would have been like, what? At least long enough to not grab her. Potentially. Also, hello Poop Lord. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing?
Long time no see. How you've been? This is not a game.
Yes, it is.
It's an escape room.
Stranger danger. Always keep some pocket sand. I don't have pocket sand, but I could get like belly button lint and then just flick it at the person.
Or deodorant. That's not illegal.
Getting deodorant in your eyes. Ooh.
Yeah, it still burns.
Yeah, not as much as like bear mace, but still, it's not nice. Clover and I walked slowly out of the IB room. Theo glanced over at us as he exited his own room.
Now let's fuck him up.
I looked away before he could make eye contact.
Sigma.
Can we at least try to get the bottle? Like, if we're fast enough, he doesn't have a chance to throw it.
Imagine if...
Grab that jacket.
Imagine if in the room where, from what we've seen, you cannot hear what the other people are saying in the other rooms, right?
Yeah.
We tell Clover, who told us in another timeline, so it doesn't matter. But maybe we know through an epiphany, through the field, that she has special agent training. Hey, we need to disable Dio when he gets out of the room. So like when we all like file together to look at the results.
She told us in this line that they're special agents too.
Wasn't it the other one?
Also in this one. We skipped that bit because it wasn't new.
Okay.
And besides, obviously she doesn't have that much special training as she has shown earlier.
I guess. No one is named Jack. At least one person is.
Why? After all that stuff you said.
Meh.
I mean, it's not like I'm criticizing you. I think you made the right decision.
Thank you. Sorry.
We don't need to apologize. I think I would have chosen betray if I was in your position.
But seriously, why do they always act like we're not allowed to change our mind at the last moment? Why can't we go, I heard what you said, in the very last moment when I made the decision, I agreed. So I changed my vote.
Because Sigma never ever has said that before.
Yeah, but why can't we?
I didn't write the game, I don't know, Tifa. But honestly, from what we've seen so far, I think all of her reasonings are understandable. Okay. If Sigma actually went with like, hey, I changed my mind last second because of what you said, I think
it seemed like the easiest
they would have been okay with it. But usually Sigma either doesn't say anything or he says some wild stuff.
I don't remember why I picked this.
Exactly. The crazed art teacher's first day when he was going over a fire drill evacuation route said that if you're confronted by a stranger you should shout, I have no bananas, give me a Wolverine. Because this will make them think you don't speak English. Then run into a serpentine pattern to avoid sniper fire.
Always crisscross.
Always zig and zag. Game of Thrones should have taught us that. Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. Yesterday I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. World and the whole time I was like, Jack looks a lot like Michael Cera. I take that as a compliment. That guy doesn't seem to age ever, unlike me.
I don't see it, but sure.
Yeah. I'll take
or maybe I forgot what this dude looks like.
He has this face where he always looks like younger than he is. I think when they did Scott Pilgrim he was like in his 20s and he looks like, I don't know, 16, 17?
Hey, sometimes I'm not shocked.
Yeah. He didn't change his mind, you forced him to do it. Well.
Or that.
Well.
We'll find another way, alright? We just have to keep an eye on Dio.
Just knock him out.
As soon as he gives us an opening, we take it. And I'm sure Alice will help us too.
Did you tell her?
It's okay. We can trust Alice. There's no way she told him. Anyway, let's go check the results.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably trust Alice too if I was in her shoes with this.
And then we
She's
get
the one that has more experience than she does when it comes to these things.
And when Alice knocks him out...
Oh, they went for betray!
They chose betray!
They went
What
for
the
betray!
They killed Tenmyuji!
What do you mean? He's not dead.
Tenmyu... Oh wait, yeah. I'm done.
That's the different timeline.
I saw the -2. I was like, oh my god.
He dead! No. There has to be a line where someone dies at least, though. Okay,
they picked betray.
I'm guessing Kay did. Is this the bad ending where Kay fucks us up? I mean, in the previous bad ending where everyone died, Kay wasn't among the dead bodies, which means he could have been the only one surviving. Is Kay gonna be bad?
Kay as evil called it. No, possibly. I'm pretty sure the reason is gonna be we chose betray now so that Alice is at 4 points, so that no matter what happens next round, she is safe from being killed in an Ambidex game, at least for 1 turn.
But she would be safe regardless. And besides, if she would
No, if they had both ally, if they had chosen ally, she would have been at exactly 3 BP. If the other party then betrayed her, she would have dropped to 0.
But you can't get to -3.
Forget anything I said. Why don't you press A to find out? Never. Never.
Like the highest minus you can get is -2.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
I did not expect Kay and Alice to go betray.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would still turn out to be ally, even though Kay was a hell lot suspicious.
Yeah, but why?
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
So Sigma is really bad at this. Like, look at the scores. His is still just 1.
Well,
we will never get out of here.
It was the best thing to do at this moment. I do hope Kay doesn't turn out to be evil, though.
I wouldn't be shocked if at least one ending.
Hey. What the hell is this?
What happens if you get to 0
You die.
points? You die.
Yeah, 0 or lower means you get penalized. There, I did it for you. Sorry, I decided to choose betray.
Oh, so you don't care what happens to Quark?
What kind of a cold-hearted bastard are you?
Jeez.
Please, just give it back.
Hey, Sigma, what are you talking about?
We found the Accelerator in the laboratory.
And Dio stole it. What? You mean he has it? Right now?
Nah, I don't have it.
What?
Well, I won't have it in about 2 seconds.
Do you think it's in his head? Probably not.
The moment the words left his mouth, I knew what he planned to do. No! Don't! I leapt toward him as I spoke, but it was already too late. Dio snatched the vial out of his pocket, brought it up.
I told you it was in the pocket.
And threw it to the ground.
No!
At least he stuck to his word.
Yeah!
It wasn't an empty bluff. Does that count for anything?
Yeah, I mean, the character that is written like a huge douchebag and asshole acts like a huge douchebag and asshole. They could have gone with, no, I can't give you the dosage of Accelerator because I already injected Quark with it while you guys weren't looking because I'm secretly awesome.
Now let's grab one of those pieces of glass and stab him. Let's get this over with.
Have I told you how I got these scars? Now we break his bones at Tenmyuji. Well, yeah, yes, pretty sure that would happen.
There is no way Tenmyuji would not at this moment.
Dio is out of pocket. Oh my god. That's true. That's true. You bastard.
What are you doing?
A promise is a promise. If you'd chosen Ally, this never would have happened. You want to blame someone? Blame yourselves.
No. I'd had enough. Something snapped in my brain. Bastard. Another guttural grunt leapt forward. Only to be stopped short by a firm hand on my arm. It was Vi.
Hold it.
Why are you stopping me?
Because this isn't the time for that.
I mean... Huh? What do you mean this isn't the time for...
Look at the number 9 door.
Kay.
Oh shit! Kay made a run for it! This is absolutely brilliant. Even I forgot about Kay. Like, yes. I knew he had 9 points, but I didn't even consider that he's running for that door.
While everybody is watching Sigma and Dio like, I will have you, ruffian. Kay's like...
I was completely distracted by this whole scene.
Kay is doing the Skyrim sneaking animation where just...
He probably has some hover function in those boots of his.
Could be. Could be. Kay was indeed standing in front of a door. What? What is he?
No!
9. His BP is 9.
What?
Idiots! You all looked at the screen!
Don't think anyone ever gets exactly 0 because it would require to betray 1. Yeah, but it's not 0 exactly, it's just 0 or lower, like you said after.
Exactly. Giant robot sneaking by. Must have been the wind. Yes. Yes. Exactly that.
Not suspicious at all.
Suddenly we were all running toward Kay and the number 9 door.
Good thing this door is slow as fuck.
Maybe not this time.
The question is, can we stop Kay?
Yeah, good luck. This door is moving way faster this time. I take that personal. When we try to get out the door, it's like... And with Kay, it's like, okay, cool, just go. Kay, what the hell do you think you're doing?
The door or the machinery behind it saw him as his cousin or something.
One of us. What?
What am I doing? Well, that should be obvious. But if you insist, I am attempting to leave.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I assure you, I would do no such thing.
I have had enough of your bullshit. Goodbye.
I am perfectly serious. After a rational assessment of the facts, I have concluded that this is the wisest course of action.
Wait, where was Alice?
Standing there with us.
Did she come out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is currently our highest priority?
I don't think Alice came out of the room.
Did we see Alice reacting to the scoreboard? I don't recall. Do you think Kay just knocked out or killed Alice, then voted and then is now leaving?
I'm unsure.
I mean, if you're a bad enough guy to open the door by yourself, then I wouldn't put it past you. But...
The answer is, of course, to save Quark. He must be taken to a hospital as soon as possible.
You did not see Alice. Okay, yeah, he probably knocked her out.
See, Kay isn't evil. He did this out of the goodness of his heart.
For the greater good.
It's all for Quark.
For that to happen, one of us must escape and call for help. Currently, the only one of us capable of doing so is myself. That is why I intend to escape.
And leave us all behind.
Unavoidable, but as I said, I do intend to call for help.
Under completely rational thinking, which I think went out of a window way earlier in this whole scenario, this makes sense.
What makes sense?
What Kay is doing.
Oh well, yeah, it happens.
We need professional help.
Times.
I'm leaving the room. I'm getting professional help.
I mean, it's not the first time a character does this, but...
Yeah. I mean, we did it for selfish reasons.
I do like, though, that when we tried to attempt this, we got tackled to the floor before this door was even halfway up.
I mean,
and with Kay,
no.
we're all having a
Hiccup.
peaceful conversation.
All of this evil is getting to me. Currently we're talking, we could still try the tackle option.
I mean, yes, but we're talking while that door is opening. Why aren't we already tackling him?
Why aren't you pressing a button?
Couldn't you have at least waited until the next round? Then you could have raised Quark's BP to 9 and taken him with you.
Yeah.
That's a good,
Luna
that's a
has
very
a point.
good point.
Listen to her.
And what would happen if Dio was Quark's opponent in the next round? I have no illusions about what Dio would do.
Dio is such a piece of shit. He caused this.
I still say we take Dio out now.
This is the most logical choice.
Also, I think it's kind of funny how offended Dio is here when
yeah.
he's the one that was
How
going
dare
to do
you
exactly the same.
Screw over everybody. That's my job. You're taking my character on.
I was gonna do this first.
And Signal has tackled someone else. Clover could still go out to get help. Yeah, but still.
The fact is, they tackled us to not let us go out.
Yeah. Why don't we tackle him? Oh, robot suit.
We should also stop him, I guess. Or do we really just go for the... He's our only chance now to get help.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open
Let's see.
for 9 seconds.
Oh, wait! Where's Alice?
Ah, yes. Alice is in the AV room. She has collapsed, but you needn't be concerned. She is only sleeping.
Knocking out people.
What did you do to Alice?
You will need to ask her yourself. I must take my leave.
Hey! God damn it! Wait!
Well, if help is coming anyway, what stops us from getting rid of Dio now?
I trusted you, Kay. Dio charged at Kay. But the larger man easily sidestepped him and tumbled nimbly through the door just before it closed. So he isn't just big and strong, he's also very agile.
I did trust Kay, actually.
Yeah, same.
The number 9 door.
Here we go again.
I do wonder if his reasoning is legit. Because it does make a tiny bit of a difference in being the giant asshole and actually trying to save him and therefore being a bit of less of an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, fair is fair.
He could also be bullshitting us and just come up with this excuse. On the other hand,
Then he takes off a mask and
need
is like, oh, finally I'm done with all of these people. No, but if
He
you
also
think about
doesn't
it,
need to say it.
the motivation does hold up because it wasn't a situation where somebody needed to be killed. Like if you go with a K always chooses for the greater good, that makes sense. He knocked out Alice. And
Could have killed her.
Exactly. And now he's gone.
His reasoning about Dio also kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Dio needs one more betray on an ally vote. And he will definitely just abandon us.
Yeah. Build like Bane, moves like Spider-Man. Yes. It's a very good analogy.
R2.
This ends the Nonary Game.
We are betrayed? But is he evil? I'm still undecided.
For your participation.
Do we still get to read what happened to Dio after all of this?
I hope so.
All doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Just ending? Oh yeah. We don't even get to learn how we beat up Dio.
We don't even get the satisfaction of beating
I wanted
him up.
more choices. Like, do I punch Dio? Do I kick him between the legs? What do we do next? Who do you
Just
think?
a kick. Attach the glass to your shoe first.
Who do you think is the announcer? Like, they're voiced and they got a voice other than Zero Jr. Why would they do it? I think the announcer is just an automated system.
Same. I don't think there's an actual person behind it.
Yeah, and I also don't think there's any like deeper meaning behind it. It's like an announcement at a train station being automated. It's like it's information that needs to be relayed. So let's get into the flow for next time, shall we? There you go. Have a voice. Even Sigma didn't get that because Sigma is the player character. We are the voice of Sigma. Look at all of... Oh!
Hey, we unlocked some things.
We unlocked a thingy. Now we can do this thing.
I say we still finish the other side first though next time.
We
At
are
least
now,
the ally route.
I would say about halfway. No, less than halfway.
We don't know what comes more if everything has been unlocked.
Yeah. Answers only in real endings. Yep. I guess. Still no new information.
Don't really think we're gonna get anything new.
I was hoping. Doop, 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 doop.
Wait, where are you going? Why all the way there?
Oh, wait.
Why not go to the...
Yeah, true, I forgot we were here. Sorry.
It makes more sense to do the ally bit first.
Finish middle, go left, and go unlock to be continued. That's the plan. Skip. Who do you think Zero is? Sigma. Always has been, always will be. No. Ally. Vote has been recorded.
At least stop before the announcement.
There we go. Now we're all set up for tomorrow. Bing! Damn! Damn! I
am curious.
I wanted something else.
What happens to the person that does escape, and I really hope they go into that in the last ending.
I think they're going to meet Zero as an
the person
OG
who
Sigma.
escapes.
Yeah. I have this dumb feeling that the game, like in the previous game, when we got to the number 9 door, behind that was the way out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing here it's not the way out of our predicament. It's more like now you get to talk to the person behind all of this.
Mm.
And then you learn why all of this happened. And then there's still something after that. Like I think this game actually just ends with you getting some information and then you go, what the fuck? And then cut, credits, the end.
That could be.
That took you really long. That's what we do.
Are you surprised?
That's what we do best.
Just having a quick look at the list, and we have a lot of this person is 0, this person is 0.
Yeah, but of course only mine are right. So
you said K is 0, you said Sigma is 0. Also, do you, by going with Sigma, do you denounce your K is 0?
Yes. Yes. Originally I wrote down the masked man K is 0. I'm only scratching these off like when it's actually confirmed one way or another. So it could still happen. It could still happen. I'm leaving it on there.
I mean, I feel like at this point, if it turns out, you can't really go with it. It has to be your last choice that can be counted as correct.
Okay.
Well,
I make my own rules.
We'll see.
New theory, true end is actually to be continued. I mean, they made a third game. Now,
There's gonna be some tiny cliffhanger probably.
I do not know if when they made these games they already thought of sequels. Like a lot of times in media, when a movie or a game is made and it's a self-contained story and it does really well, then suddenly the studio behind it goes, oh my god, this sells really well, people love this, we need sequels. And then sometimes, instead of just one sequel, 2 sequels happen. For example, Pirates of the Caribbean. The first movie is a self-contained story. It wasn't supposed to get a sequel. It was just the story. And then that's fine, it has an ending. You could still argue, I mean, the characters aren't all dead, so something might still happen. But if there is no ending, the story stands for itself. And
even if they do have an end, they could still go with like a spin-off.
But then the second movie happened, and the second movie clearly leads into the third one, whereas the first one doesn't lead into number 2. So I do not know the story of how these games were conceived. I don't know if 999 was made with Virtue's Last Reward in mind.
We'll find out, shall we?
For the third one. Continues next game? It could be. If they already thought of the story for 2 and 3 as 2 parts of a bigger overarching plot that just like gets retconned into making sense with the first game. Or if it was like, well, I need 3 games to explain all of the story. I don't know. And I can't look it up because then I will find spoilers.
Enhanced immersion by playing the game at radical 6 speed. Exactly, that's what we're going for.
I'm going for such full immersion. I'm living at radical 6 speed in my mind.
Who do you think Kay is? Kay is someone from the first game.
Kay is some random person.
I'm quite sure I even have that written down.
I don't think Kay is anybody important.
I think that's going to be the big reveal.
Okay, who acted like Kay that we met so far already?
If Kay actually has if the memory loss is real, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like memory-wise, I'm talking about mannerism-wise. Because from my experience, I've never met somebody who actually suffered amnesia. But in every movie, show, video game, people with amnesia don't remember things from their life up until that point, but they still act like that person. And their patterns of speech, their mannerisms are still the same.
I don't think that's necessarily, but I don't know enough about it.
I'm thinking of all the characters from the first game and none of them talk or act like Kay does.
I still think that's the big plot twist. There's gonna be someone under Kay's mask, and I think the only reason why they're hiding it, if it's not for the whole...
It's gonna be number 9
not being able to kill himself. I mean, could be.
He's dead. He exploded.
Maybe that was all a trick. And
True.
He wasn't actually the one that exploded. Did you see him explode? No.
No.
You just saw him go through a door, and then later when the door opened again, there were bits and pieces.
I don't think it's a recurring character in the suit. I think they made it so that you think that. But like, whoever it is, they would have had their whole personality changed between us getting to know them in the first game and them us seeing them now.
Also, I like how we're going with morphogenetic fields,
yes.
Time travel.
Yes.
Anything else? We're on a space. We went on a spaceship and we were brought to the moon as the last people on Earth, basically. And then someone having memory loss and not having some kind of manners of what they used to have before the memory loss is suddenly not realistic and not possible.
And that, Tifa, is why my theories will be confirmed to be true and all of yours will just wither away.
What was it again? We can't add things that haven't been discussed yet.
What?
That's something which you said.
No, I didn't.
Earlier, yes, you did.
No.
Or something along that line.
I did not say that.
You absolutely said that. Don't make me go back.
I'm not sure Uchikoshi was involved in the third game. Okay, that would be... I mean, I can't look it up. I cannot confirm or deny that. Or fact check you.
I do hope it's gonna get an ending. At least answers.
Then again, just because somebody created a franchise doesn't mean they're necessarily the person best fit to write the story. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I said what I said. Is Tenmyu G7? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if that is like the other recurring character. So, how many cliches do you want to use? Zero Escape developer? Yes.
Also, about the memory loss.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Tenmyu that shows 7.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Sure thing.
He's looking after...
There's no point talking to you.
He is looking after a kid, which is like one of the big things that 7 does in the story in 999.
No one else ever takes care of kids, by the way. This is something exclusive to 7.
He is presumably a police person.
We only have 1 police person per country, by the way.
Per world.
It's not possible.
Per multiverse.
It's not possible to have more police people working.
No, but we only have 1 police person that we know from the previous game that was involved with the first Nonary game, with the second Nonary game, and with SOIS.
Yes.
I understand that you try to cast a very wide net. I'm saying you're not fishing the ocean. I'm saying you're trying to find one particular person.
Because your net is so full of holes, it's not even a net anymore, it's just a string.
Just imagine throwing a string into the water.
It's just a lasso that you throw into the ocean at this point.
Tifa, if I just throw 1 string into the ocean, that's called fishing and it still works. I appreciate you trying to finagle your way.
I didn't say anything about fishing.
Of words.
I said net.
Yeah. And if you reduce a net to just 1 line and you cast that into the water, you can still get a fish. It's called fishing, you know, with a fishing rod and stuff. Is Quark secretly someone else? I think Quark has the highest likelihood of being a clone. Because I think it's weird.
I thought you said all of them are clones.
Yeah, potentially, but if only 1 is a clone, then it's probably Quark. The reason being, for 1, he has a weird condition that we know nothing of so far, outside of Radical 6. Quark in general acts weird.
The condition is probably Radical 6.
Like, he isn't himself. I don't know about, like, possession, maybe multiple personalities. I don't know what they're going with, but he doesn't, like, even before Radical 6 becomes a thing, he doesn't always seem like he is himself. Like the way, like the things he does and the way he speaks sometimes doesn't like gel with how he acts, in my opinion.
How odd that this is all stuff from, like, that has been explained that has to do with Radical 6.
Possession like a ghost. I mean, the first game had kind of like that with Akane. I don't know. Maybe it's someone controlling him through a morphogenetic field. Just because you can share information doesn't mean it ends there, right?
He's gone through everything, don't worry.
Some sort of possession.
You can think of it, he already written it down as a prediction.
I have not written that down, I think. Wait, have I? I might actually. Damn, I can hardly read my own writing.
It's quite hard.
I wrote down Quark has multiple personalities. I didn't write down the reason for that because that's even harder to pinpoint.
It's ghosts.
Also, the thing I was saying, Sigma and Phi share a connection somehow because why are they the only 2 characters who are named after letters in the Greek alphabet? Quark is named after a milk product / a thing in physics. And I think that's like... I mean, if your grandpa's name is Tenmyuji, which to me sounds Japanese, why would you name your kid Quark?
It's not his kid, though.
Your grandchild.
Yeah, that means he didn't name him, did he?
Okay, so in
Quark could be adopted for all you know.
In your expert opinion, you believe that it is likely that Tenmyuji had at least 1 child and they got married to Elon Musk. or somebody like Elon Musk who has a knack for kind of, let's say, exotic names.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have any inspiration. Quark was put as a foundling in front of their door with a little tub of quark in the basket, and they were like, you know what, I'm gonna name him Quark as a memory.
And he grew up in an orphanage in Japan together with his other orphaned adopted siblings. Cottage cheese, skyr, yogurt.
And no one said Quark isn't just a nickname.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know anything. This game
we
is
have
confusing.
zero proof that Quark is his own name.
Did you say zero? Who's zero? We will never know until we finish the game.
Do you know what we do know?
Tell me, Tifa.
Who we're going to raid, and that's actually, do I know that? I'm quickly gonna...
You sounded so sure there for a second.
I was saying it like I'm super sure, and then I realized when we wanted to raid him last week, the moment I said it, he was ending and going offline. It doesn't look like it at the moment.
Raziel, if you're talking about him, is currently playing Resident Evil 5 and he's in the middle of a cutscene. Doesn't look like he's finishing right now.
No, I agree. So let's go there.
Before he can end his stream. Ha 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 ha. This time we will beat him to the punch. Now, if
last week was bad timing.
Cannot come along with a raid, please check out Raziel whenever it's convenient for you. Please click this link for later. You should check him out. He's awesome. I still need to set something up. Imagine already opening the stream on my end so that I can like see it and chat with him once we have raided.
That would be quite handy.
Imagine being prepared for a raid. Yes.
We are absolutely prepared. What day is today, by the way?
Still Tuesday.
Good. Which means we will be back tomorrow and hopefully get to see the ally route.
Yes, maybe a whole nother ending tomorrow. We'll do our best.
Is it possible? Who knows?
Let's find out together, but first I'm pressing this button. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow with more Virtuous Last Reward. If you can, please stick around for it. See you then. Bye!
Bye!